Hey guys, Island Turtle here. Welcome to BOMISpirit. This is going to be the weekly intuitive astrology reading for December 2nd to December 8th. Sorry for the delay. Mercury be retrograding. Retrograde be retrograding, that's for sure. And even for like the reason I also took some time is because I was actually waiting for a phone call for something important and it never came. And I'm like, it's fine. It's Mercury retrograde. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing amazing. For those who are new, welcome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. And also just know that everything will be timestamped. Usually what we do here on Mondays, we hang out. I talk about the astrology of the week. I give you my 2 cents on it. I also do some channel messages. I may pull cards as well. So if you're not into astrology, all the other stuff will be timestamped. And if you're into astrology, that's the first stuff up. So, oh my God, that's the stuff that comes up first. Oh, it's gonna be a long video today. Anyway, guys, I'm just gonna take a couple minutes just to get like the timestamp slots ready, just so like once I get into it, it'll be easy. But hopefully you're having lunch, or maybe it's evening time for you. Maybe you got some coffee, some tea. Just hang tight while I get all this in order. Oh man, the retrograde. I did was that just yesterday? That was just yesterday. I did Leo and Gemini yesterday. I also did a channel message. To be honest, I don't know if I'm going to put it on YouTube. I'm still on the fence. So it may just be over on Patreon. I don't know. But even during all of that, I felt like I was struggling so much with my words, like to the point where I'm like, yeah, I can't post this on YouTube. So hopefully not too much of that today. Hopefully we'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna do elements or signs. It may be an element day. It may not be a sign day. It may be an element day. I don't know. It's just what I'm feeling right now, but that's subject to change. Yeah. Okay. Clyde, do you want to settle? You want to lay down? He's thinking about it. Clyde has also been adding to the retrogradeness. He started refusing to eat his food. And I'm like, no, not today, not now. Christian, thank you for the 99 cents. Thank you, thank you. And for the rainbows. Thank you so much. And for anybody who has cats, you know, they can be picky whenever they want to be picky, and cat food is expensive. Anyway, I'm just rambling. I'm sorry. Okay, let's get into the overview here. Okay, so the overview is just a very simple, like, here's what I feel is going down for the week, and I may reference some astrology, but the astrology portion is for the detailed astrology. So a couple things this week. We do have Mercury is retrograde already in Sag, but Mars will be going retrograde in Leo on December 6th. On that same day, Venus will be moving into Aquarius, and on December 7th, Neptune will be going stationary direct in Pisces. So it's definitely quite a week. Now, we still have a grand Air Trine that is doing some interesting stuff in relation to Chiron, but also with the Sun and Mercury in Sagittarius. Venus, Pluto, and Ceres are doing amazing things together. I'm personally really excited for that one. And then Mars is, doing its little bitty thing outside of it going retrograde. But all of this to say, the themes of the week: devotion, loyalty, and discovery. Patience is going to benefit everybody. Adaptability will benefit everybody. And rising to the occasion when you know it's the right moment to would also benefit everybody. But devotion, loyalty, discovery are really big for this week. So how do I want to talk about this? With devotion and loyalty, this can be to others, this can be to self. We're gonna have big themes around money, okay? Money, career, changes in your money and financial situations, and not necessarily for the bad, like for the bad, Jesus. Not necessarily in negative ways. That could actually be really positive. Some people might even have windfalls of money come in this week all of a sudden, which is kind of amazing and kind of great. We do have some interesting stuff going on romantically and sexually because of Venus and Pluto. And there is a big opportunity this week to deepen any relationships that you want to deepen because of these aspects. But some of you may actually feel, I'm not going to say pushed, but like may feel like you need to rise to the occasion to help someone or support someone, and that could lead to other opportunities or lead to a deepening of a relationship, even a friendship. But we do have some romantic sexual vibes going on, and then on top of the devotion and loyalty and commitment, that could also pertain to getting into certain contracts with people, or revising certain contracts, or elevating certain relationships, or taking certain connections to the next level, whether it's business or romance or otherwise. So that's kind of interesting. Now, coming back to the grand air trine that we have between Jupiter, Lilith and Vesta, and Chariklo, like I said, Chiron supporting that. The Sun and Mercury are supporting that in Sagittarius. It's creating an interesting flow this week. So we're going to go from like the beginning of the week where we may be theorizing a lot of like what we can do, what we want to do. We may be like talking to people about it. We may be getting little bits of information from other people or from researching things. It just feels very like, what are the possibilities in theory is kind of what we're starting out in the beginning of the week with. The grand air trine is helping with that as far as like getting clear and communicating and going to other people for those kinds of things. And there's also some discovery that's going on in there as well, whether it's information or you're discovering something about yourself. And then as we shift towards the end of the week, something really interesting happens. All of that theoretical stuff comes into reality, an embodiment of these theoretical things, which I think can be really good. The fact that Mercury is retrograde does make this a little crunchy and a little tricky. Some of these embodiments of these theoretical things that we're thinking about, contemplating, talking to other people about, can be really, really amazing and feel really, really good and make us feel like we're actually like having things fall into place. But like I said, it gets tricky because towards the end of the week, the retrograde aspect of Mercury is actually amplified by Saturn, and I'll talk about that. So just know that by the end of the week, like while you may be feeling like certain things are falling into place for you, communication, paperwork, dealing with authority is going to be at its like peak crunchiness. Okay? So that could feel weird, and it almost feels unavoidable at the same time. And don't be scared about that. It's life. It's just life. Like we can't avoid life. We can't avoid all that life entails, right? I'm just giving you a heads up. Hold on. Thank you for the $5 for the last two reads, especially Capricorn energy you read last week. You helped me through heavy stuff. Oh, I'm happy. I'm happy that supported you. Thank you. So just know that. And it's interesting because the switch from this like theoretical stuff into reality is happening on the probably around the 5th of December, I would say, because of the aspects. And again, we'll get into it. The other thing I want to talk about, Jupiter is square Saturn again. Dun, 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 dun. I'm not too worried about it, to be honest. I think the worst of that experience happened in summer when that aspect peaked between Jupiter and Gemini and Saturn and Pisces in that square. So that square is like coming back around because Jupiter's retrograding, but Saturn is now direct, right? And we're going to be in this for a bit. It's going to peak Christmas Eve, December 24th. If you're unfamiliar with this aspect, it creates restriction. That's what it does. Jupiter in Gemini wants to, be all Gemini and like try things and get out there and socialize and be creative. And Saturn Pisces is like, yeah, there's other shit going on. Saturn Pisces goes, maybe not. Essentially, it teaches adaptability. It teaches faith. It can feel a little discouraging. It can feel a little bit like what you want just can't happen. So, like I said, we've been through this. I do feel like we're a little bit more prepared this time around, and I do think a lot of people are not gonna feel so shoved in the corner, so to speak, or so lost, or discouraged is where the ones to come through a lot with that. So again, I'm not that worried about it, but I do want to say with all the other energies that are going on, there are things that are falling into place, even though we have this like sense of restriction floating around. So whatever is falling into place, enjoy it, be grateful for it, and whatever you want that is not falling into place, just be patient about it. Try to not attach too hard to expectations around it, and just let that be what it's going to be, and just be patient. And just be patient. and adaptable. Okay. I think that's really all I have to say about this week. Which like it's a little all over the place. I know, because we have a lot of interesting things happening. We have a lot of interesting layers going on. But yeah, that's what I have to say as far as like a paraphrasing summary of what's going on this week. Set a timer. A timer. Oh, maybe you're talking to somebody else. Maybe you're not talking to me. It's nicer to be reminded of others. It's good to know, actually. Please remind me in like 10 minutes something is in the oven. Oh. Oddworld, set a timer. My patience is out of patience. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Also because of Mars, while there are really good stuff happening, there is definitely this vibe of things are a little all over the place too. I'm not gonna lie. I feel it even as I'm trying to talk about this energy, but overall there are some really cool just things like getting very solidified or deepening, like I said before, or getting just like more focused on. But remember, devotion, loyalty, and discovery. You can't bypass devotion this week. I also want to say that. You can't bypass devotion this week. That is because of Saturn. That's also because of Venus and Ceres and Pluto. Why is it so hard to talk today? Because as I was trying to talk, I kept seeing the zodiac signs, and I'm like, trying not to say the signs, celestial bodies. You can't bypass it this week. So if some of you have been feeling like apprehensive to make certain choices, I want to say time's up. Oh, thank you, Gabby. Thank you so much for the $5. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love that message. Yes, support your content creators. We all work very hard, I must say. So just do your due diligence, because when we have Saturn at play and people are like trying to bypass Saturn makes sure you don't bypass it. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And when I say devotion, I mean this could be like literally to your own obligations, your own to-do list, the things that you're responsible for. But because it's also Saturn in Pisces, that can also be to like taking care of your own health, whether it's physical health or mental health, spiritual health, even your spiritual practices, things like that. So just keep that in mind. Okay, let's go ahead and get into some of the astrology here. And because there is a lot, guys, for my astrologers out there, for my people who love to get into the astrology, I would definitely have your notebooks. Okay? If you need to go run and get them, go run and get them. If you're watching this after the fact, obviously just pause it and get your notebooks, okay? So I want to start off with the signs and ranges for this week of what I would pay attention to and what would be coming up in those houses for you. So for those who are new, if you look to your rising sign, you'll notice that all of your houses will have a zodiac sign in like degree ranges, and it literally is a range that goes from your first house all the way to the 12th. So what I'm about to tell you are the ranges to look at, and that will dictate what house is being affected by some of these energies, okay? Now, Capricorn 25 degrees to Aquarius 5 degrees. This is going to encompass Venus, Ceres, and Pluto. Within this range of your house or houses, because it could overlap to 2. And if you want to use whole house system, use whole house system. I don't. But, do you, boo. Okay. Capricorn 25 degrees to Aquarius 5 degrees. Within this range, we're going to see the deepening of relationships, the deepening of your focus on certain goals and investments, a lot of future-oriented energy there, and also changes with money. Changes with money. I need to really emphasize that. And changes within your relationships. So honestly, with that, like when I tune into it, I want to say enjoy the ride. Yeah, enjoy the ride and seize opportunities. There's definitely some sextile energy that's involved in some of that. And sextiles usually open doors, hence opportunities. I keep feeling this like apprehension, especially on the relationship end. And obviously it's going to be person dependent. Some of you may be apprehensive to seize opportunities around money and finances. Like securing long-term stability is like really a big part of that. But some of you may be apprehensive on more the relationship front and showing up for someone, or people may be apprehensive to show up for you. But I'm telling you, seizing these opportunities will be very surprising, pleasantly surprising. Just keep your shadow in check. Keep any of your impulses in check. Impulses is also a big thing this week. I just didn't want to put it as like the main headliner because we have a lot of other main headliners going on, but that's definitely in the background, especially when you got Pluto and Venus playing with each other. No pun intended, kind of. Anyway, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, 10 to 20 degrees. This is going to encompass Mercury and Sun activity, and they are both working with that grand air trine like I spoke about. And yes, Chiron is part of this too, but this is like what I would pay attention to if I were just looking at my own chart. So we'll go over all this anyway in detail, but this is just what I think is important. So again, Sag 10 to 20 degrees. This is that retrograde energy of Mercury, which is getting very crunchy by the end of the week. Just a reminder, in typical Mercury retrograde form, typical, like communication, paperwork, things not working the way they should, things like that. Also, this is where you may experience what you have been contemplating, theorizing, learning about, talking about, and putting it into reality or have it come into reality. That can happen in that particular house range. And discovery. Discovery encompasses a lot of things here when I say discovery, because I wanted to keep it simple. Discovery can be play. Discovery can be talents and skills. Discovery can be learning about the self. Discovery can be uncovering information or putting something together, or even going into new situations, experiences, relationships, environments, that sort of deal. Okay, but all of that is encompassed around discovery. It definitely has a sense of play around it. Okay. And then we have, I put Gemini and Pisces because of the Jupiter square Saturn vibes. But again, anything involving Jupiter also touches the grand air trine, which will be Aquarius and Libra. And that they will have the same ranges here too. All of the ranges are 10 to 20 degrees, except for the Capricorn Aquarius range. So just coming back to it. Gemini, Pisces, 10 to 20 degrees. And then, of course, if you want to look at Aquarius and Libra, you can. But this is where, oh yeah, this is what I already mentioned, but have gratitude for what falls into place here and patience for what doesn't. In either of those houses, in either Gemini or Pisces. Libra and Aquarius are more supportive here. Libra feels really good. Like whatever's going on in the house of Libra at 10 to 20 degrees, that is definitely a pursuing or uncovering or connecting to a sense of purpose. Okay. Finding peace within even your sense of purpose. There's even a little bit of like beauty going, like a sense of beauty, art, creation, and involved in that too, because it's Lilith and Vesta working together in Libra. Cherokloid in Aquarius. That's part of the grand air trine. That one, that does play off of discovery a little bit, but it is also the exercising of who we authentically are. Okay. But focus on Gemini Pisces for this one because it is major. It is. It just is. It's major. And you'll see why. 10 to 20 degrees. Be grateful for what falls into place and patience for what doesn't. It doesn't say forget about it. It doesn't say give up. It doesn't say quit, but just patience and focus on other things maybe while that finds its way in the timing that it needs to find its way, right? Okay, so just wanted to go over that. Let's get into the first section. Oh, that's right. I might have to not draw. I feel like I need visuals for this weekly because there's like even my notes. I'm just like, I feel like I'm looking at my old college math notes, looking at some of this stuff. Okay, actually, I want to do a timestamp for this one too. Let's do, yeah. Okay, so for this first cluster, we're going to talk about this is the grand air trine working with Jupiter square Saturn and the influence of Chiron and Aries and the Sun and Mercury in Sagittarius. Again, reminder that retrogradeness of Mercury, very crunchy around the 6th, which is also when Mars goes retrograde. So just be mindful, okay? Now, the grand air trine, Jupiter's in Gemini, 16 degrees is retrograding, is trine Cherokloid Aquarius, which is moving between 13 and 14 degrees this week, and is trine a conjunction of Lilith and Vesta in Libra between 16 and 19 degrees, okay? For those who don't know what grand air trine is, it's basically like a giant triangle okay, on the wheel, where you have an entire element that is working together, right? So Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. It tends to bring a lot of amplified positive energy and support within those houses and within the element itself. So air is communication, logic, intellect, creativity, being social, right? Making connections, connecting the dots, if you will. So everything in that realm that is being amplified in a positive way this week and is probably in the forefront of our minds this week as well. As I mentioned earlier, with Lilith and Vesta and Libra, that is highlighting more of like a sense of purpose and fulfillment and like what gets us out of bed in the morning, right? Cheroklo and Aquarius. Cheroklo is the medicine woman. She does bring healing, but in Aquarius, it is of the authentic self and expressing from the authentic self and whatever your unique skills and talents are, right? Underneath the layers of being human and whatnot. So just to give you that flavor of what the Grand Air Trine would bring. Now, like I said, Chiron is supporting all of this too, because Chiron is opposing the Lilith and Vesta conjunction, but is also sextile Jupiter. So all Chiron is doing here, for those who are not, I feel like I have a lot of new people. I feel like I have to explain a lot today. Maybe that's just Mercury retrograde effect. Could absolutely be that. Anyway, Chiron, for those who are not familiar with Chiron, Chiron speaks to our wounds and insecurities. And when we're speaking to a collective Chiron experience, with Chiron being in Aries right now, and has been for a very long time, it's speaking to a sense of identity, right? Any sort of core wounds or restrictions or trauma or insecurities or fears that have been restricting our sense of identity or our ability to assert ourselves or take action or believe in ourselves or have confidence, that stuff. We've been in it for quite a long time. But the way it's working with the Grand Air Trine, this is also why this is so beneficial, that a grand trine, because it's just creating an ease with overcoming some of this stuff. So any ways that you've been feeling kind of restricted in your own life in terms of everything I've already talked about with all the air energy, this is giving us an ability to move past these things with ease and with grace. Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about Mercury and the Sun. They're doing an interesting dance in Sag, and they literally, I almost want to say, like, switch dance partners throughout the week. So in the beginning of the week, Mercury's working with this grand air trine energy, including Chiron. And by the end of the week, the Sun is working with Chiron and Lilith and Vesta. So it's like, again, they do this little switcheroo, right? So all that means is like the theorizing I was talking about is happening through Mercury in Sag, even though it is retrograding. So if you have been just contemplating a lot of things or trying to be open to new experiences and just like, what would those even be? Do I want to travel somewhere? Do I want to take a dance class? Maybe I should go talk to my friend about this. This could even be like going to therapy, just because Sag is also touches on all of that too. But sharing ideas and communicating with people is very beneficial right now, even though Mercury is retrograde. But if you're going to talk to people, do it at the beginning of the week. If you're going to pick like a couple days to be social this week, do it now. By the end of the week, it might be crunchy and a little strange, but you may also not be able to avoid it either. So it just kind of is what it is. So Mercury creating all of this theorizing and ideas and contemplation. And then on December 5th, Mercury joins the Sun in a conjunction before Mercury moves on to work with Saturn, and the Sun moves on to work with the Grand Air Trine and Chiron. And so when the Sun moves into that, it allows us to get into more of an embodiment of these theories, if you will, and all these ideas and contemplation, and we have an ability to actually act on these things in reality. So I think that's going to be just awesome for most people. Now, Saturn. Saturn. Actually, should I create a little one for this too? I don't know what is going on with me today. I'm really thinking it's got to be Mercury retrograde, because I'm feeling like I just want to be hyper detailed about things, and I'm not that person by any means. I'm like, I don't know, it's just weirded me out. Anyway, sorry guys. Okay. So like I mentioned, Jupiter is square Saturn this week, and we'll be sticking around for quite a while. It peaks on December 24th. The last time we experienced this was the peak was August 19th. So it was in the crunchiness, the mid crunchiness of summer. That date was pretty, oh my God, important. Hold on. Thank you for the super chat. I'm trying to like it, but it's not letting me. Hold on. There we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hold on. Oh, why are you freaking out? Your positive messages made a difference when it mattered. Well, thank you, Marianne. Thank you. Um, yeah, August was rough for a lot of people, but August 19th was a very important day. We had the full moon Aquarius, which had a grand cross, which was rough because it was a fixed cross. And at the same time, Jupiter square Saturn was peaking. And then we also had a third aspect that I don't recall. It had to do with Neptune, I believe. But here we come again, back around the merry-go-round of Saturn square Jupiter. Jesus. Again, I'm not that worried about it. All this is going to help us with is to be more adaptable and really teaching us a lot more about faith by creating some restriction and delays that could be discouraging, but they don't have to. And since we've dealt with this, I know we're all a little bit more prepared for it. And there's, again, like I mentioned before, there's still going to be things that fall into place, even if it's not exactly what you were thinking or wanting. So just be patient in the meantime. And again, I think a lot of you are going to work with really well with this energy. Now, by the end of the week, the crunchiness I was mentioning, with Mercury being a little extra retrograde, the end of the week, Mercury will be square Saturn. And that is like, that creates a very typical Mercury retrograde kind of experience, even when Mercury's not retrograde. It literally creates like discomfort and friction and miscommunication with authority figures, with paperwork and actual work and getting things done. It's usually advised to like do things alone and solo when this is going on. But again, I do think a lot of people may not be able to avoid doing that. So just know the end of the week is going to be weird, especially because at that same time, Mars will be going retrograde in Leo, which is adding some weird layers. Like even tuning into Mars in Leo felt really weird today. I'm not going to lie. It did. It felt really weird. I was feeling a lot of like frustration and aggression, pretty standard for a retrograde fire Mars placement, right? But a lot of it was also sexual. But I also know with other things going on around Mars, including the entire retrograde phase, there should also be a lot of like confidence and bravery to go after what it is you want, pretty much, to go after what it is you feel it matters to you. And when Mars retrogrades back into Cancer, it's going to really bring up the heart again, which is going to be good because I think that's going to be very sobering for some people because like this energy around Mars, it's like it touches on passion, it touches on lust, it touches on love, it touches on the heart, and it touches on the ego, right? And it touches on competition, like all the shadowiness of it too. So Mars just feels weird, okay? Mars just feels really weird this week. And since it's happening at the end of the week, the retrograde, that's also when Venus and Pluto are like working very closely with each other. That can really amplify the competitive energy, the sexual energy. So again, it's a little funky and a little all over the place, but it's going to be dependent on how people use this energy and how people experience this and utilize it and how they like act with other people, right? So if you have like no self-control, if you have impulse control issues, I do think this is going to be a very weird week. But if you're very grounded in yourself, I think this is going to be totally fine. I don't think you have to worry too much about the shadow of Mars or even the shadow of Venus, Pluto too much. And I think there could be a lot of fun to be had, but also just getting very serious too about certain things. So anyway, I know lots of talking today. Moving on. Oh, not moving on. Sorry. So for this section I just spoke about, look to Sag 10 to 20 degrees, as I mentioned in the astrology overview, but the grand air trine, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, 10 to 20 degrees. If you want to look at Aries, you can. I don't think it's that important because I feel like it's such a passive, supportive force. If anything, in your house of Aries, 10 to 20 degrees, you may experience just like getting over certain hurdles, like certain insecurities and things like that. And you suddenly may feel a little bit more open to expanding in that particular house or that aspect of your life. But the actual activity, the shit that's happening in your external reality, Sag, 10 to 20 degrees for sure. Okay. And again, if you want to look at the grand air trine, it's there. All right. That being said, let's talk about Venus. Something weird happened with the video, or is it just me? I hope nothing weird happened with the video. Let's see. Ceres and Pluto. Yeah, so this section, Venus, Ceres, and Pluto, relationships, money, and goals, and things get serious. Okay, so just a reminder, this is going to hit your house or houses that are between Capricorn 25 degrees and Aquarius 5 degrees. Okay, this is the one I wanted to draw because I was looking at it, I'm like, how am I going to talk about this? Not draw, right? It's not really drawing what I'm going to do. Hold on. Let me get a pen here. You guys are going to see how I formulate my astrology notes, and I got to tell you, they are very... hold on. Thank you, Shiki. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I like Shiki music. Oh, it's like, that's cute. When I write my astrology notes, I do kind of write them in formulas. So just hang there with me. Don't get scared. It's just to help articulate, okay? I probably should have color coded this. No, it's too much. Okay. Neptune. All right. And then we have Haumea. The North Node. Almost there. Okay. So like I said, don't get scared. Oh, hold on. Forgot one. Okay. So this is everything that's happening with Venus, Ceres, and Pluto. I know it looks like a lot. Don't worry if you don't understand it. It's mostly just to help me communicate certain energies here for you. So the main event is here. Okay. This is the main event. We have Ceres going from Capricorn to Aquarius and is working with Pluto. Okay. This conjunction is creating all of these aspects with Haumea in Scorpio, with the North Node in Aries, and with Sedna in Gemini. So we're just gonna talk about this first, and then I'll talk about Venus, and then I'll talk about Neptune. The reason I'm doing this, even though you see there's a conjunction symbol right here, technically is Venus, Ceres, and Pluto conjunct? Technically, but Venus is a little far out in the beginning of the week for me to consider this a full conjunction. But by the end of the week, yes, she is absolutely working with Ceres and Pluto. But this is why we need to talk about this first. Because while all of this is happening for the entirety of the week, Venus is slowly going to join all of this by the end. This is why I want to talk about it in parts. All at the same time, Neptune is also working with all of this while it's working with Uranus. So you see how I do my notes now. But anyway, let's just talk about Ceres and Pluto with all of these aspects, okay? So when you have Ceres working with Pluto, Ceres is all about nurturing and self-care and investment and wanting to bring certain things to life, wanting to make sure certain things go a little bit smoother or easier. And because it's going from Capricorn to Aquarius, for some people, this is going to be in terms of like money, material things, career, legacy, all that stuff, material support, even health. Like health keeps coming up and creeping in here a little bit. But Aquarius is also about community and creative innovation and the bigger picture. Why am I talking weird today? Even beyond the individual, even though Aquarius also speaks about the unique individual, right? And with Ceres working with Pluto, it tends to create experiences where we start to nurture ourselves or other people through difficult change or through challenging transitions or even through loss. Now, some of these losses, difficult, challenging experiences could already be going on, right? They could be very like long-standing things. They can even pertain to the economic fluctuations, the political changes, the shifts in society and infrastructure, which I think a lot of us are affected by already, right? And that's probably very likely to be on the table for these experiences for a lot of people. But with Haumea at play, and there is some Uranus activity as well, that can also be about, to be honest, like natural disasters. weather events that could lead to some sort of shift or some sort of loss or some kind. Now, this can also create situations where someone needs your help. And it's like, oh, yeah, I can come in and I can help you. I can give you a helping hand, whether it is in a practical way or whether it is emotionally, because Neptune is here. And with Neptune being here, it does add a tenderness. It adds more compassion and more empathy and more love and just more of a ease with any healing that also needs to take place, but also it's amplifying the creative component where that applies for some people. Okay. A lot of opportunities to rise to the occasion here because there's also a sextile with the North Node in Aries. Some of these experiences or these events or these relationships may also feel faded in some way. Like, here's this window where like you're supposed to nurture someone or someone's supposed to nurture you, or even if you're supposed to take time for yourself to nurture certain things in your life. And that would probably be more on the material plane of things or creative endeavors. All right. So that's all of Ceres and Pluto. So keep in mind, everything we're talking about is circulating around that. Now let's talk about Venus. So Venus is moving from Capricorn into Aquarius this week. And like I said, by the end of the week is really strongly aspecting everything I just spoke about. Is it technically throughout the week? I think a lot of astrologers would say yes. I would say it's pretty weak in the beginning of the week. But either way, Venus in this position does tend to bring a desire to focus on the future and devotion and loyalty and predictability and security in the material way, but even in our own immediate environments or even societally or even with work. And I was getting a lot of like domestic energy in like spaces, like wanting consistent, stable spaces. I was getting a lot about that. Whether that's a workspace, a home space, or whatever. This also pertains to financial investments, obviously, and this can also affect your business relationships or any new business relationships that want to come online because there's also a lot of opportunities right now, okay? If you are also dating or you are in a committed relationship, this can also be about taking relationships to the next level. I just realized I forgot to mention something about Saturn. Saturn is also trine Juno in Scorpio right now this week, which also highlights devotion and loyalty and commitment and marriage as well. And contracts. Contracts, I think, will be big this week for a lot of people, like new contracts or revising contracts and agreements and commitments. That's how Venus is tying into this. Now, when Venus joins with Pluto, though, and that will definitely be at the end of the week, when Venus joins Pluto, even as I said that, I felt this like warm energy go through my body. That's going to really amp up the desire for intimacy, for sexual exchange, especially because there's a little bit of Cappy energy there, but also Venus and Pluto, that's just what Venus and Pluto be doing, right? It also will create a magnetism where people may just feel like they're having an easier time attracting people to them or attracting certain opportunities to them, intentionally or not, okay? Now, sometimes when that happens, especially when you have Venus and Pluto, some shadow can come up. Some people might abuse that. Some people might get a little manipulative or get a little greedy, especially with the Capricorn kind of at play. And all this focus around money and legacy and future and stability and security and all that too. So just be mindful of that if like that those temptations come up to like take advantage around this time. If you're like really feeling yourself and, excuse me, and if you're pulling a lot of things to you or getting a lot of attention, any sort of affairs this week, very ill-advised. Okay? Very, very, very ill-advised, especially with Pluto being there. Like when I was feeling into that, I was like, oh, yeah, I feel like Pluto and Saturn activity, right? Because Saturn being trine Juno will smack you down real hard if there's like a violation of integrity or a violation of devotion and a violation of a violation of loyalty even. Yeah, I only have the one she made a week ago. Wait, what? The whole live stopped for like 2 minutes. It's retrograde. It's retrograde. We're just running with it, guys. We're just gonna flow with it. So yeah, that's Venus and Pluto. The other upside of this though is that Venus working with Pluto in this way can also elevate relationships and deepen loyalty and deepen commitment and also deepen your own discipline and commitment to your own goals that you are focusing on this week, especially if they're financial. Okay. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about Neptune here because I spoke a little bit about it, but the fact that by the end of the week, Venus is going to be stronger in this conjunction means that Venus will also be stronger in its sextile to Neptune. Venus and Neptune in a sextile, Neptune's in Pisces. Yummy. um, that's definitely going to bring the romance. That's definitely going to bring the sexualness. That's going to bring the deep feelings of love. Like this is to be honest with you, for a lot of people, if you're in the right situation and these are hitting your houses just right, yeah, this can absolutely uh well be a week for falling in love or deepening relationships in that way that I've already described. Now, keep in mind too, with Uranus, there are some unexpected events that can take place with money and relationships. I've mentioned that already. 311133, by the way, just when I said that, just pointing it out. So keep that in mind too. Again, affairs are ill-advised. Okay. Last but not least, we'll talk a little bit about Mars. I really don't feel the need to focus on it that much today. Like I said, when I tune into it, I just feel really weird things. Okay. So for this week, looking at Mars, I would look to the house of Leo, 5 to 10 degrees, if you want to look at it. I keep feeling this feeling like I just want to ignore it. It's so weird. It's so bizarre. I'm like, I don't even want to talk about it, to be honest with you, but I will. So Mars this week is going to be trine the North Node in Aries. It's still square Haumea in Scorpio. At the beginning of the week, it's still square Juno in Scorpio. And like I mentioned this in the last couple of weeks, that there's definitely some shadow that going on in there, right? In relation to the Haumea Juno Scorpio squares. Now, the North Node Aries, though, feels really good. Like that to me does feel like there's a little bit more bravery and confidence to take initiative and to just go for things and rise to the occasion. And that feels really good. But Mars is going retrograde on December 6th this week. Okay. Now, Mars will be retrograde until February 23rd when it goes stationary direct, but the post shadow doesn't end until May. Such a long retrograde phase, and doesn't move into Virgo until June. So we're really not going to have like a different experience of Mars until halfway through 2025, which kind of blows my mind, to be honest with you. It's kind of like, huh. I don't know. It just feels like a lot. And there are a lot of lessons wrapped up in Mars retrograde for sure. And I am going to try to post more videos about them when I have the time and the space. But as of right now, I think the only thing you need to be aware of in terms of Mars is because it is going into retrograde, it is a time to review. It is a time that you may experience certain holdups or delays or restrictions in how you want to assert yourself and how you want to take action. Keep in mind that a lot of this may even be sexual because Mars is in a fire sign and it just tends to bring out the sexual energy of Mars, right? Regardless of the whatever fire sign it's in. But Leo, Leos can be lovers for sure, but that sexual energy feels a little bit like sexual frustration and aggression. And with the squares with Haumea and Juno and Scorpio, there is like what is brought up through there are experiences or memories. What's with my language today? Memories of violations as well. So if that's been coming up for you, I wouldn't be surprised. I think that's very collective. Just allow time and space to reflect on intentions, your impulses, and your motives around all of this Mars energy as we get into the actual retrograde phase. The retrograde is also supposed to highlight for us how and why we take action from the heart, love, passion, self-interest, or for others, and lust and ego are part of this too. Okay? Rememory. I know my words today. 100% the sexual aggression, resentment coming out for people, and I can't even. Mars retrograde is always hell for me. Oh, I'd be very curious about your chart. I'm just happy that it's like not in Gemini because the last retrograde I believe was in Gemini, which was my Mars return. And it was just like, don't want to deal. Anyway, so that's honestly all I want to say about Mars. I would say I wouldn't even look at it. I would not even look at it this week. If you want to, by all means, it's your prerogative. It just feels like there's just some shadow that wants to come through there, but there's also a bravery with wanting to move in on some things and rise to the occasion on some things, which is kind of called for this week anyway, and also feels a little inevitable. I just can't get away from this feeling too that like this week there's and inevitability of dealing with certain situations and relationships and opportunities, even if we don't want to. Yeah, very interesting. Okay, let's get into some messages. Get a little sip of water first. I will very gladly not think about Mars. I like, you should, oh my God, when I got to that point, I was like, oh, should I even make a section for this? And I was like, it's important, you should. I've been feeling those Mars shadow impulses too, but just ignoring LOL. I'm in for a ride. I suppose Sag, Sun, Mercury, Leo, Mars, Aries, North, and that's the other thing too. We have a lot of fire. The fire trine is no longer active, but we still have a shit ton of fire. And this water sign, I don't know. Fire can be nice sometimes, but I don't know. It's a lot of fire for me. What would happen in a Mars return? A Mars return, to me personally, is a time where you feel like you actually should have a lot more ease with your own physical energy. Like you feel a lot like, oh my God, you feel a lot more confident with how you're navigating things, how you want to take action on things you want to initiate, things you want to change. It usually is a time where you feel really, really good about yourself and really good about just the way you navigate life and take action, essentially. And even like talking about it, sometimes I feel like when we go through a Mars return, we even mature a little bit in our own masculine energy. Yeah, that we even mature a little bit. And when it was retrograde, it's like, right? It's like, it's a time where normally you should be like really in those vibes and like really on your shit. But if it's retrograde, it's like, it's held back a little bit. And I definitely experienced that. But plus my Mars is in my 12th house, so it's already not an ideal placement for Mars to begin with. So it is what it is. My sexiness was off the chain this week. There was a lot of sexual energy in the air. I can't lie. There's a lot. Okay, I am going to get into the messages, I swear. But I mentioned to you guys how the new moon energy was working with my Lilith. Too much. Too much. Just too much. Too much. Too much. Too much Lilith. Too much fiery Lilith energy. Might have got myself into some trouble. I'm counting down the years for my progress Mars turns direct in Virgo. Can you talk more about Mars in 12th house sometime? Because same. Mars in 12th, anytime you have a planet in the 12th house, well, I'm not going to say any planet. I'm going to take that back. Not any planet, but Mars in particular, it's strange because the 12th house is where we get a little subdued, right? The 12th house is more about the void space, the internal world, all of the non-tangibility of life, closing out karmic cycles, right? Endings, things like that. So for Mars, this like malefic active energy going into a house like that, it doesn't function well. It just doesn't. Like, excuse me, for example, my Mars is Gemini, right? So Gemini 12th house is like endless pursuit of knowledge, like endless pursuit of knowledge, but like to the nth degree. So I'm constantly like looking for new things to learn, but I can't like stop. I mean, I can stop. I have self-control. I'm an adult. But I really don't want to. I really don't want to. It almost like amplifies the scatteredness of like a Mars Gemini placement. But also because it's in the 12th house, it doesn't have a concrete channel either, right? So normally like Mars Gemini, I would say if it's in any other house, it's, ooh, you know what? I'm going to go and learn that. Okay, I've learned it. Now I'm going to utilize that knowledge. I'm going to turn it into this, and I'm going to turn it into this. It's like you can take that and like apply it very easily to other things in your life. In the 12th house, it's just you learn shit and it's just kind of floating around in the sphere. And then you learn something else and it's just kind of like floating around in the sphere. And it literally is just like an endless loop. So it doesn't allow for Mars to almost like go from this internal motivation to very concrete results. There we go. That's the best way to say that. Yeah. So Mars 12th house, you can have a lot of internalized fire, but it's very hard to actually put that into something tangible in your physical reality and do something with it practically, because it's floating around in the void. Right? It doesn't have anything to do with the external world. It's floating around in the void. So that's just an example. But I do want to get into the messages here. I actually am feeling collective today. I am. I'm feeling collective today. And we're going to do Big Bertha. For those who don't know, Big Bertha is a combination deck. The Starseed Oracle and Angels and Ancestors. All the decks that I use are linked below if you are new. I have Mars 12th house conjunct my sun. My Mars is in Scorpio on the 10th with my moon. Ooh. Ooh. Mars and moon. Why does that feel so intense? Especially in Scorpio. Mars Scorpio is interesting. Obviously house dependent, right? But oh, timestamp, thank you. I swear I'm not normally this scattered. I swear. I'm legit blaming the energy. I am. I just am. Thank you. Thank you, Cataclop. Thank you. I'm so patiently waiting for your Astro course. I need the one for beginners. So this is a great example of my Mars Gemini at work too, in my 12th house. So that is definitely going, oh my God, I just realized something. So I did the Gemini reading and I labeled it labor of love. And I was about to say it's a labor of love, guys. It's a labor of love. It is. It definitely is. But I have to just flow with it when I work on it. Otherwise I know it's not going to come out the way it's supposed to. So when I have a date in mind for it to be ready, I will totally let you guys know. And I have a feeling that maybe in 2025, when things are a little bit more settled, will probably be the time. Because I have been working on it, but then I had to pause just because of life stuff. So it's there. It's floating. It is there. It will be done one day. Because it'll be done one day. Anyway. Collective. Any messages or insights for the collective today for this week? The mountain's been coming up a lot symbolically in the collective, and they're highlighting that to me. Oh shit, was this the channeled message? Now I don't remember. Or was this Aloha Friday? Now I don't remember. My patrons will know. If this was the channel message, my patrons know. But if it was Aloha Friday, you probably are already familiar with what I'm about to say. So they're showing me the mountain. And what I had channeled recently with this energy is so many people want to achieve, so many people want to ascend. But the way that we really have the most clarity of what's going on is getting that bird's eye view, right? Climbing the mountain to get the bird's eye view, essentially. But to do that, we don't actually ascend. We don't actually climb. We actually go deep within ourselves. You could even say descend. I feel like that's almost actually I'm gonna take that back. I feel like it's a little misleading. It's actually about going very, very deep within the self, very deep within the body, getting very centered, getting very grounded, being very connected, and I almost want to say protective of your own energy and of your own internal world. Because when you do that, it's like the tree metaphor, right? That I mentioned to you guys before. The deeper and more pervasive your roots are, the stronger your tree is and the higher it can grow, right? The more you can see, the more you can discern, the stronger your compass is, right? This is just an energy that's going on right now. And you know what? I think this is in relation to Mars. Yeah, this is totally the channel message. No way. No way. I was shuffling and then I saw it and I was like, oh, that's literally what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to take it. So you see what I'm saying, where it's this is the line, right? It almost reminds me of a glacier, actually. If this is the surface, we see the mountain, but there's a lot going on underneath. It's the same metaphor. It's like you can't go up without going down. You can't ascend without being grounded and rooted deep within the underbelly of you, right? Or even within your own subconscious, your body, whatever word, your lower chakras, whatever words you want to use for this, whatever metaphor you want to use. It's exactly what I'm talking about. Um, stand your ground. Yeah, this is totally about Mars Leo. It's funny, and I wanted to ignore it too. It's like, I don't want to talk about that. Let's just not. Let's just not go there. Oh, my throat just went out. The reason that I think is coming up with Mars Leo, there's quite a few things that I'm picking up with this. Competition being one of them. Achievement, ideas of achievement being one of them. Kind of what I was saying before, people just, we have a very linear way of thinking about things. It's not our fault. We live in a physical reality. It's how society has been. We think, we're just trained to think very linearly, where we think achievement or success or better means up, right? It means going up, going up, going up, but it's really not. It's like, it's actually getting aligned, is really what it is. Because if you look at this, right, they're just mirror images of each other. That's all it is. It's just about being centered. That's all. That's all. That's how you win. I don't even those words, right? Winning, losing, accomplishment, achievement. Some people strive to climb the mountain from a competitive stance. And I think that's kind of something that's happening right now. Some people, I think, are getting in that competitive shadow energy of Mars Leo, and it's ego driven, or it's like driven by vanity. Oh, God, hold on a second. Oh, I just got super stuffy, sorry. Oh, it's so stuffy, nothing's coming out. Okay. So some people are definitely getting in this shadow, and some are not. Again, everyone's in a different boat here, okay? Something else with this mountain energy, for those who understand what I'm saying here and those who are putting this into practice, where it's about your actual alignment and your solidity with self, okay? That's creating the strong mountain, a strong tree. It's just the same thing. You're not going to be thrown off your compass. You're not going to be thrown off your compass. You're not going to try to force your way up a mountain because you know you don't have to. Okay. I'm also getting like a Five of Wands energy, which again is competition, but I'm also feeling like a pushback. Freezing. Is it okay? Is the video working, or is can I get confirmation that like the video is functioning for you guys? I'm gonna wait. For those who watch this after the fact, I apologize. It's working? Okay. That Five of Wands energy, and I am feeling like a pushback. So yes, that does represent competition, but I also am feeling like the pressure of other people, the pressure of opinions, the pressure of society, the pressure of narratives, beliefs. Oh, this is totally the channel message. And to not waver when confronted with that. If your mountain, if your tree is super solid, super rooted, centered, it's not going to be a problem. You're not going to get swayed in directions you don't need to be going in, or entertaining certain situations or relationships you don't need to be entertaining. And that is actual ascension, right? It's just that solid connection with self and with source and with spirit. This is also tying back into what I was saying before about trust, right? And that was Aloha Friday. I think that was Aloha Friday, where you really, when it comes to the idea of trust, I think we have thrown that word around a little too loosely. Just the way that was coming through for me between me and spirit, my relationship with spirit. So don't take it as a truth if you don't resonate with it, right? Your reality is your reality. But trust, to put trust into something or someone is to like literally give your compass to them. I'm not giving my compass to nobody, personally. I will be open and I will be receptive and I will be loving and I will be kind and I will be compassionate and I will be respectful and I will be collaborative even, but I will not relinquish my compass to anybody, right? And that's kind of how spirit was giving it to me. Like trust is your compass. It's the same thing. So it's like you should have a very solid connection with your own compass, but you should also have a very solid connection with your compass through spirit as well, right? Spoken for eternity. Thank you. Ah, hold on. Thank you for the night. Oh my God, $20. Thank you, gracious queen. And please all read and support my book. It's not personal, but it's personal. Kindly. Well, thank you for that. Thank you. And that's what I'm getting with this. That's what I'm getting with this Mars Leo energy. And it's like, I think we're going, it does, it feels a little bit like a divergence. People who are, well, doing this and people who are not. It does. It absolutely feels that way. And it'll be very obvious who falls in what boat and what category and the realities that are going to be created out of that. Because the people who are like in that shadow of Mars Leo, I do feel like they're a part of, I'm going to say a part of, I almost want to say enabling, but I don't like that word. They embody, that's a better way to say it. They embody a reality where there are losers and there are winners. There is superior, inferior. There's a hierarchy. It's linear, right? It's not all encompassing. It's not circular. It's not aligned. It's not centered, right? Like you can stand with people or you can stand over people or under people. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So the other thing that came in that channel message, maybe I will post it. I don't know, like I'm hesitant because I was really struggling with my words and I felt like I was all over the place. And just some of those topics were a little rough, you know, to be honest with you. So I will say that for some of this, getting to this state also means I'm hearing clear out the basement. Yeah. Some of you have been working on your sacral and your root, okay? And so in doing that, you're also shaking up anything that has prevented you from being in this state of alignment to self and alignment to spirit and alignment to your own compass, okay? And when the channel message, what was coming up a lot is some of that sexual stuff in relation to Mars Leo that I was talking about. And I think that's also why I didn't want to talk about it here, because it's not pleasant stuff. It's not. Like a lot of it was around embodying these misconstrued labels and teachings around sexual energy. Well, yeah, around sexual energy, but then there's another layer to this, right? So Maiden and Siren were coming up a lot, and this mispainting of Siren energy, right? Every fractal, every archetype has infinite levels of expression because there's like literally like infinite frequencies or vibrations we can experience it at, right? So when we think of like Siren, we think of Siren as like the beautiful thing that's going to lure us to our death and take advantage of us, right? That's what we think about when we think of Siren. But Siren doesn't have to be that. Like Siren is also an experience of magnetism, really, which is on deck for this week, right? As I mentioned before with Venus, Ceres, and Pluto. It's just magnetism. It is just beauty and radiance. And yes, that can pull people in, or you could be pulled in by magnetism of a person or even magnetism of an opportunity. Because sometimes if we're just like attracted to something or someone, or there's that kind of allure, it's not always bad. Sometimes our soul is like, yes, that way, go. Sometimes it's literally just the pull in the right direction. Even if there is this like magnetic quality to it that maybe makes us feel uneasy at times, right? Sorry, I'm getting a little off track here. I want to bring it back to like the sexual experience too, because I would like that was just so strong, especially because we have a lot of this like violation, feminine, masculine layers that are happening for some people in the collective, not everybody. But especially in terms of like the maiden comparison, I remember I was getting really annoyed because with Siren, it's like if we were to paint, this is just an example, if we were to paint a woman as a siren in that like stereotypical way, right? It's like you would equate that female to like abusing her feminine wiles or abusing her magnetism, which does it happens, but it's not I would say it's actually not most people. And same thing with men, right? I would say that's not most people. But because these ideas are so perpetuated, it's like people just kind of take it on, right? Sometimes people take it on unknowingly. Sometimes people take it on because they feel like they don't have a choice, right? But siren energy in a higher expression is just magnetism and beauty. And at the same time, there's another flip side of that polarity, right? If someone is attracted to something pretty, for example, sometimes in human nature, there is also this entitlement to it in some way, or like to take advantage of that alluring thing. And we know how that happens in our society, which is also not okay, right? I remember the dolphin was coming up. I'm basically telling you the channel message, so I probably won't post it. Um, but the dolphin was also coming up in relation to this, almost like the dolphin is the siren kind of energy, where maybe it's like, again, just an example. So take this metaphor and like run with it in your own life of how it's coming up for you. Like someone could be like a dolphin like energy or medicine, which is just like childlike and beautiful and alluring and sensual and playful. And it's actually dolphin medicine is a healing energy, almost angelic, to be honest. But they could paint that person as a siren, right? And almost feel entitled to take from that person, or entitled to violate that energy in some way, shape, or form, or just project onto the dolphin and be like, oh, they're just trying to take advantage, right? And like all these different ways of the way we treat people. So it's like, this is also a layer that's coming with all this Mars Leo energy too, which is unfortunate. But like I said, it goes a step further than that, because like this is just one way we can experience this. Another way is like culturally, racially, socioeconomically, right? Politically. I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. That's also why like I stay away from these like very polarizing topics, because there's so much charged pre-association with these words that you can't, like, you can try to speak true, you can try to speak on it, but it's like people just hear what they have already been programmed to hear a lot of the times, which is unfortunate. But culturally, for example, like, you know, if you were raised in a Latino household, right, for example, it's like you were raised in that culture and it's beautiful, but not all traditions are who you are as a person, right? Right. And sometimes because we are so bathed in a experience or in a projection or a teaching or a family value, even, we just take it as true, and we just take it as, oh yeah, that's who I am. But is it? But is it? Is it? Right? This is also why the Hierophant and Devil have been coming up a lot in the channeled messages in the last couple of weeks, because like Hierophant represents all of that. Hierophant represents society, beliefs, family traditions and values, expectations, what's right, what's ethical, what's moral, what's the standard of expectation, which so much implication here. The devil in the details of that is like, yes, there is something really great and beautiful and amazing about tradition and values, whether it is societally or family based. But the devil in the details there is it literally creates this like blanket restriction around people's individuality and around the truth of what and who people are. And it creates this license to look at someone and go, they are A. So I'm going to treat them as A because they're A and they're not B and they're not C and they're not D, when a vessel is just a vessel. And these are things we know, obviously, but this is just like, these are just deeper things that are coming to the surface right now in everybody individually and obviously collectively. So some of your own like past traumas and wounds may be coming up in relation to this, of how your own unique self and sense of identity has been misconstrued or painted to be something that it's not, in the ways that you've taken on, or the ways you've allowed people to treat you because you were told you should be treated this way because you look a certain way, or you come from a certain background, or you give the impression of, it's like such a stupid concept when you really think about it. Pluto being an Aquarius, especially coupling with Venus by the end of the week, I think is also amplifying this, because now that Pluto's in Aquarius, keep in mind it's going to be in Aqua for like 20 years, right? And I keep reminding people of this because everyone's been so excited of like Pluto in Aquarius, it's the time, and it is the time. Don't get me wrong, it's the time. But here's how Pluto works, okay? Pluto comes in and dismantles. That's what it does. It dismantles, it really brings out the shadow so that you can see the truth of something. And then we move into evolving. We're not going to see a true evolution through Aquarius until like the last 7-10 years of Pluto being in Aquarius. This first run, this first half is going to be shadowy as shit. I'm just being real with you. It doesn't have to be where we're like all living in shadow, but it's seeing the shadow, right? And so Pluto being in Aquarius is gets just starting to get into all of this, right? Of how we all play roles that are not unique to our own essence, right? And it's starting with this more like societal, cultural painting ideas of people. Um, wow, that was a lot. I'm like, how long have I been talking for? Um, I felt like I was talking for like 40 minutes, and I look at the timestamp. I'm like, oh no, it's only been 10 minutes. I just got hit with energy. Sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not. Why am I sorry? I'm not sorry. So yeah. Anyway, so let the little layers peel off. Let the things that need to come up from the depths come up in relation to all of this, of how you have been embodying or playing along with these misconstrued images of you based off of all these different things. And yes, a lot of you, it's going to start with sexual energy, because we are going from the sacral to the root, and that's just the nature of it. So sexual energy, creative energy, and expression. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more throat stuff that happens too as we get deeper into Mars retrograde, but let's pull a second card because we're only at one card so far. Okay. Ah, I couldn't need any more confirmation that it's all about Mars energy right now. Ugh, even the word Lord. You know what word I hate? Landlord. I hate that word. Um, Sorry, my Lilith is very out right now. Take charge with authority. It's really just emphasizing the Mars Leo-ness of everything that we're talking about, and also with the standing your ground. It's like that this is also very healthy masculine energy, right? It's like if you're actually doing the work to get to this very solidified, very centered, unwavering sense of self, right? If you're doing that, then you are also very in line with a healthy, confident, unwavering masculine energy that will keep you on your compass. And that's what that is. Keep you on your compass and also give you the confidence to make moves and act accordingly and navigate without losing that sense of center, right? Okay. Like Lisa, or I enjoy the alternative language. Yeah, love it with just the first card so far, and I hate landlords too. It's such an old word, and I know like words carry meanings and all of that, and sometimes I think there is power in staying to like the original root of a word, but like some words we just don't need. Like, honestly, some words we just don't need. We just don't, and I think that's one of them. Lord of the land. It's like I a sassy statement came across my mind, and I'm like, no, don't say it. Don't say that. Anyway, masculine energy showing out. High priest, divine masculine principle. Lord, divine masculine principle. Behind high priest, we have heart guardian, love and let yourself be loved. That's an open vulnerability and reciprocation. I can't believe out of four cards, two of them are about the masculine principle here, because in this entire deck, I think those are the only two. Oh, that's not true. Grandfather Sky. Which I did see him peeking a little bit. Yeah, there he is. Sky or Sky Father. Um, in this fat deck, three masculine principle cards, and two of them came out right next to each other. We're gonna go deep tonight, my friends. Yeah. Wow. It's interesting because Lord, I would say, is more of like the physical reality, right? Version of masculine energy, like how we are literally in our world, in our vessels, doing shit, handling our life. High priest is much more of the etherical experience of that, like the non-tangible, emotional, intellectual. I don't know if I said spiritual, experience of that energy. So as above, so below. As above, so below happening here. Love it. I don't even feel like I need to go on and on about the high priest because it's in line with everything we've already been saying. Um, yeah, yeah. The fact that Heart Guardian is here though is really, really nice. There's not too many cards in this deck that also speak just purely about the heart space, and this is one of them. And as I said before, Mars Leo will also retrograde through Cancer, but even touching on Leo, does tend to influence the heart space, right? People who have very healthy, high expressions of Leo energy are like the biggest givers, and they're so generous and they're so loving and they care a lot, right? And so, Heart Guardian being out here, I think, is also alluding to that, where we can act out of love, we can act from the heart, we don't have to act out of ego. Excuse me, and we don't have to act out of self-interest. This is all about the open vulnerability of exchange of energy on any level, whether it's physical energy like money, whether it's emotional energy, whether it's spiritual energy. It's just the open exchange, equal exchange of energy. But it's intentional and it's rooted in the heart. And those who are doing this kind of work, this kind of alignment, will experience this with other people who are in this kind of alignment. And people who are not in this kind of alignment can experience that lack of alignment with other people who are in lack of alignment. That's what it is, right? Birds of feather flock together. That's how frequencies and vibrations work, right? Yeah. There's something else going on with Heart Guardian, though. Because the way it's on the board right now, it's like this. There's something in between these two cards. I'm going to pull a card for that. Can I get a card for in between High Priest and Heart Guardian, please? Feels protective. Yep. Water your garden. Nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. Yeah, it is. It's protective. So as I was also saying before, it's like this is also going to be a week of nurturing and care for others or for the self. Some of you in your own alignment, but utilizing your masculine energy may act as a protective force to hold space so that someone or something or even yourself can have the time and the space to be nurtured in the way that's necessary. This could even be nurturing projects. It doesn't have to be just purely emotional or relationship based. It can even just be you're making sure to create space for yourself, for you to take care of yourself. It could be as simple as that. But this absolutely can translate to people rising to the occasion to help other people or look out for other people in the way that's necessary. It's very generous, which again is that high expression of Leo. Okay. What element are we on? Collective. We're collective right now, Andrea. We're collective right now. But I think it actually is kind of time to move on. Actually, I'm gonna pull one more card. Pull one more card for the mountains. Can I get one more card, please? We have jump in. Feel a little quantum leap energy going on there. Andromedan energy, adventure, say yes to change. Ooh, I like that. So as a result, again, of getting into this place of solidity with the self, right? Including this healthy, high expression of masculine energy to make sure you have the space for you or nurture whatever it is that you care about, whatever needs to be nurtured here. There are opportunities, and I said that before. There's a lot of sextiles, and especially with the North Node. Having a sextile with the North Node is a little bit like a portal, which at the end of the year, I believe it's actually December 30th, we have the new moon Capricorn, but Pluto is also going to be sextile the North Node. Massive transformative life changes coinciding with portals and opportunities for the future. Even a little bit of fate is like tied into there, and also karmic closures and openings will happen as well. But I digress. This kind of alignment almost feels like a key. It does. It feels almost like a key around unlocking to get into certain opportunities that facilitate this level of alignment and balance and this exchange of energy, this exchange of heart-based energy. People who are getting lost in the shadow, who just want to climb the mountain, I don't think they're going to have access to these opportunities because they're not in alignment with these opportunities, basically, because it requires that. Okay. All right, let's move on. I said we're just going to do elements. Can you feel my energy? Where I'm like, the signs. The signs. Hold on. No, they're pushing elements today. Okay, that's probably for a reason. Okay, sorry guys, no signs today, but we're gonna do elements. Um, and I know I've heard people say they struggle with elements, because they just do, and I get it. Everyone's a little different. Um, just trust that you're gonna receive what you need. When I anchor the space before I go live, that's part of my intention. Is that whoever needs to find these messages will receive these messages with ease, with grace, and understanding. So just trust that even if you don't know what elements to watch or how to interpret it, just trust that you're getting what it is you need. Okay? All right. And that you're going to throw out what you don't. Okay? Okay. All right. We're going to do earth, air, fire. Oh, fire. Fire's first. Not surprised. Hold on. I love elements more than the signs. I started to prefer them too. Oh, that's nice. That's nice to hear. Thank you. All right. Fire signs. Oh, we're using a lot of cards today. Maybe this is why they want me to do elements. I feel like I may really take my time today. Oh. I'm just feeling all the decks that want to come out, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of a lot. Might not use all of them for all the elements. They all want to be very close. Fire signs. We're going to start with the Priestess of Light Oracle. Kind of surprising, but let's run with it. Any messages or insights for my fire signs, please? Aries, Leo, Sag. Clouds are lifting. They're showing me clouds, but I'm hearing that they're lifting. They're showing me King of Wands energy, which is Leo. Well, we are focusing on fire signs, right? But Mars is in Leo. So Leo's probably going to take the cake for the collective of the fire signs. I mean, fire element. God, Lord have mercy. You know what I'm saying. But the clouds are lifting. It's reminding me of the Mountain card. If you've been confused on your feelings, it's almost like fire signs. There's been a confusion on like what to do. Like what to do with your energy, just what to do. But I want to say feelings. Maybe that's been the missing component. Maybe you've been focused on like, okay, what's the necessary action? I have all this energy. I have all this passion and desire, but what about feelings? Yeah, I almost want to say like water may be the missing component here. Aries, Leo, Sag. Yeah, they keep showing me the King of Wands. Because yeah, I want to say like however you've been focusing on something, it's like, I want to say, why do you want what you want? What's the motivation behind the desire? What's the motivation behind the action you think you should be taking or that you are desiring to take? There's something deeper there that I think would make more sense to you, and clear things up for you. Can I get a card for fire signs, please? For Aries, Leo, Sag. Oh! Okay. We have the Twin Flames card. Did not expect that. 16 breaking down to a 7. But this does speak of alignment. Soul partner, eternal connection. This is absolutely that mountain energy I was talking about of the alignment here. Could this also be alluding to, a relationship at play? Of course. It's funny because fire and water, right, are kind of the typical symbologies for for this. I don't want to say the word for this. It's the water. You need water. You need to get in touch with your own water element. You need to honor what it is you're actually feeling, of what's behind the desire, what's behind the passion, what's behind the motivation. There's something deeper there that's driving you that I think you are not aware of, or you're hitting the snooze button on, or you just don't want to look at. I feel like you're so focused on action. Like, I just want to act. I just want to act. I just want to go. 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 Let's pull from the pocket archetype. Aries, Leo, Sag. Okay, I'm glad we're getting fire out of the way because so much of the collective energy we read is around Mars Leo and all this masculine energy, and here we literally have the father coming out for fire signs. So I feel like you're really feeling that. I think you're really, really feeling this energy. I actually think what you need is more of that watery feminine component of yourself, like to just get it in line. Just bring it in. Just bring it into center. Yeah, I can feel it. All you want to do is act. You just want to act. You just want to make things happen. But you can't, yeah. Apocalypsis. Apocalypsis is kind of like a clearing of the slate, a complete clearing of the board. I feel like this is about the clouds lifting, the confusion lifting, the illusions lifting. Reminds me of Cancer, the Cancer reading I did. Or was it just one of the sign reading? I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. You can't take action if you don't know why you want to take action. I just keep getting the same message over and over and over. But yeah, I do feel like illusions, some kind of fogginess, some kind of illusions around this are lifting and it's about to be clear. But I keep feeling like it's the water component. Interesting, the vow. The vow coming up. Vow is about commitments and obligations and duties and contracts and responsibility. Devotion, which again is a big, big theme for this week. And again, I feel like it's mostly devotion to the self and certain practices and what's important to you and your obligations. And yes, for some people, there could be some new contracts happening this week or deciding to commit or be devoted to certain situations or people or projects or work stuff. But this is absolutely on the board. This is what you want to take action towards. This is what this is what you want to take action towards. You want to put your energy into the vow. It's fire signs. This is weird. It's like you want to put your put your energy into this. Some of you don't know how, and some of you don't even know why. And that to me is strange because it's like your feelings would tell you why, right? Your feelings would tell you why. Can I get a fourth card for fire signs? Can I get a fourth card for fire signs? I heard this way, this way, this way, this way. I feel like you know this is the right investment. You just don't know why. Again, apocalypsis is going to make that clear. I feel like apocalypsis is going to make this clear. I also feel like some of you are actually going to have some doors close on you. That's interesting. Like suddenly out of nowhere, certain other obligations, even relationships might suddenly vanish or close. That's interesting. And it's just making it that much more clear to you. Ooh, yeah, fire signs. Some of you guys may have been a little too influenced by other people and your external reality, which is also why you have this card, right? Because this is about being very solid with yourself and your own compass and your own energy and your own truth and people who are also akin to that. Yeah, confusion. Anything that's been adding confusion to this is getting cleared off the board of your life. And I want to say even the way they get cleared out may even be confusing, but it's like it doesn't matter because it's just making the right direction that much more clear. But I feel like this wouldn't shock you. Whatever this is to you, you know what this is. And again, you've wanted it, but you haven't really understood why. And I want to say it's because these confusing influences have been at play. Can I get a fourth card for fire signs, please? The Mystic. I love the depiction of the Mystic card. It's just so beautiful. I just love it. It's beautiful. I always feel a little bit of like metamorphosis with this, but it's also about seeing through the veil and seeing through confusion, which again is happening here. Yeah. Okay. Let's pull some more cards for my fire signs. Let's do the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. Been crying and releasing a lot today. G's my favorite song, Into the Mist. Oh shit, did I write down fire? Okay, I did. I did. All right. Oh look, water. I love my job. Crocodile is deep water. This is deep water. I actually feel like this is akin to like the primordial waters from which all creation was born, right? It's very, very deep, dark waters. It's also a card that comes out when we are going into the depths of all that water and we're learning to navigate it and we're finding an ease with it. Sometimes also about like coming off of a big like event, but I feel like this is about getting into that water element and finding your comfort zone with it. And this is part of the alignment. This is also part of why certain things are becoming clear. Okay. Like, you need water, and there it is. Temperance may come out, or if you do your own readings, Temperance may be a card that's coming out a lot. It is Sag, and we are in Sag season. But yeah, because it like the fact that you had so much fire of like, I need to go, I need to do it, right? This is gonna temper that out. Anything else for my fire signs, please, in relation to the crocodile? It's tempering this. This is how you be feeling, fire signs. I need to go as fast as possible. I need to go. I just need to go. I just need to go. It's like very funny. So yeah, that cheetah energy that I was feeling off of you, like I just need to act, I need to go, I need to do. Cheetah is the solar plexus, is also masculine energy. It's the yang principle in this deck. It's my Eight of Wands card, so it is just like unstoppable, fiery movement. But the crocodile is what's tempering this for you. Some of you, the crocodile could absolutely be an environment. Some of it's an environment. Like some of you need to like go be by water or just be in water, go to the beach or get into a pool or something like that. But I want to say cool waters, not like a hot tub. Like you need like cold water. Some of you, the crocodile could actually be a person as well who just like helps mellow you out or calms you down or tempers that fire for you. Okay. Anything else for my fire signs here? Yeah, that cheetah feels very explosive, fire signs. Ooh, more water. Stingray. It's interesting because this to me is actually more like masculine kind of watery element. It's my King of Cups card. It also speaks to having or building or cultivating spiritual strength and emotional maturity. Strong King of Cups energy over here with the Stingray. And I almost want to say it's actually separate from this, which is getting me very intrigued. Why is Stingray here then? Yeah, to show me the King of Cups. Why is Stingray King of Cups here? Evolution? Evolution. Evolution. This is the next step. Okay, this makes sense. So this is the tempering that needs to take place first. Finding your balance, getting calibrated with your sense of self, your compass, getting centered and all of that, right? And then you move into this. You move into the Stingray after that. This is like the next phase almost, or what you can do with your energy once you find that balance. Okay. Can I get a card for Stingray? What are you doing as the King of Cups? It feels like holding space, honestly. It does. It feels like holding space. What are you doing as the Stingray, as the King of Cups, fire signs? Keep in mind this can be reversed or vice versa if there's a relationship at play here. Oh, you're giving time. Giving time is what I just heard. Giving time. And look, more water fire going on. Crazy the similarities in these cards, right? Tarantula is like a stressed, tense, Two of Wands, crossroads, needing to make decisions. And I heard you're giving yourself time. Almost like once you find your little woo-saw balance of self here, you move into this next level maturity. And I want to say you're creating space for yourself and time to like work through some things or time to make sense of something. No, they said not make sense of something. It's all about the timing. It's all about the timing. Some of you may go into hermit mode as a result of this. It's almost like you're being patient to take the action you know you will take at the right time you need to take it. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's get some tarot cards out here for you guys. We're going to do Rider Waite today. Ace of Cups and the King of Pentacles. Just showing. Aries, Leo, Sag. Aries, Leo, Sag. Okay, they're bringing me back here. Some of you learned the lesson a hard way, is what I want to say, about this like fiery energy. That's interesting. Sometimes fire is like such a tricky element because like if you have too much fire and you have trouble grounding it or navigating it or funneling it into like proper channels and outlets, kind of actually what we were talking about before with Mars, right? Trying to like utilize your Mars energy. Sometimes you can burn out. Sometimes you can almost like burn down certain relationships or situations and circumstances, and hurt investments. Some of you, I think this has been recent. Not for all of you, obviously, but whoever needs to hear this is just your confirmation. I'm getting the number 3. Hold on a second. Could be 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months ago, where your fire was like, I don't want to say out of control, but maybe, or misused, not efficiently utilized. I want to say it was almost too much, and led to unwanted circumstances or unwanted effects or consequences is what I want to say to that. And that's taught you something, that's opened your eyes to something about this watery kind of energy. You're taking that on or exploring that part of you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Some of you, this was like anger. Some of you, this was sexual. But realizing that there's something else going on underneath all of that as to like why did I do that? Or why did I take that so far? Or why did I allow this to happen? Or why did I save it? Or you know what I mean? Anyway, it just feels like there was something destructive that happened that like wasn't your intention. And realizing that there are certain emotions and other things that are behind our actions, that are behind our impulses, even behind our anger or behind our passion, our unbridled fire. There's other things behind that. I think you're realizing that. And I feel like some of you who experienced this were like, okay, I need to figure out why I do this, basically. And it helped you to find a balance. All right, let's get back to card shuffling. Okay. Any messages or insights from my fire signs pertaining to this spread? 2 of Swords. This is Moon and Libra energy. This is normally my card of holding 2 conflicting truths at the same time. They're both true, but needing to align to one of them. Sometimes it's a card of denial. Also, it's a card about decisions. I feel like it's not seeing something. I'm not going to say denial. I just feel like it's literally not seeing something because you're holding so tightly to certain beliefs. I feel like that's also tying into what I already picked up here, where it was almost like too much fire. There's been too much fire, and not realizing the consequences of having imbalanced fire. And there's been of a, I'm not going to look at that because I believe what I believe. That's how this feels. It feels like holding on to beliefs that are actually just limiting. Tell me more about the 2 of Swords for fire signs. The beauty about Mercury, about Mercury being retrograde in Sag, especially at the beginning of this week, is that being open-minded is a positive thing. Because while Mercury is retrograde, right, it is actually time to reflect. It is. And in a sign like Sag, like a philosophical sign that always wants to open people's minds, taking time to reflect and be open-minded is only gonna be helped right now. And I'm kind of feeling like that for you, fire signs. Like, utilize that to your benefit right now with that energy. Anyway, why is the 2 of Swords here? Can I get more information, please, for my fire signs? Well, Sag. Sagittarius. Knight of Wands. Again, there's like contemplation of action and fire. All you want to do is take action in that Knight of Wands energy. That's all you want to do. That's all you want to do. And maybe that's all you have done. And there's no judgment there. It's like if you got heavy fire in your chart, you got heavy fire in your chart, and it just is what it is, right? Some of you, this is just an expression of passion and desire and sexual energy that like you just want to keep engaging in. But the Two of Swords, you're like, I keep getting like there's this lack of seeing and understanding the consequences of certain actions, or even like not being accountable and responsible to balanced energy too. Okay. And again, coming back to the main message where, yes, you want to take action, but there's also this like confusion of like why you even want to, or even how to in the proper way. Tell me more for my fire signs. Oh, Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups always goes to the 10, right? Eight of Cups is about leaving behind certain emotional attachments, investments, and memories, even like baggage, right? It's not really easy. It's kind of hard. It usually comes with some sort of emotional release or detachment. This is what Saturn and Pisces has been teaching us all year long. Also a card of walking into the unknown and having faith in walking into the unknown. It's interesting because it's like I keep getting this feeling of backpedal. Because here's how it's laying on my board. Like here you are in that cheetah energy, right? But then the Eight of Cups, it's like this energy saying, hey, go back a bit. Backpedal. Like go a little deeper, maybe reflect a little bit. Don't take action just yet. Like maybe understand the water. Understand all of the cups that are driving you to do this. And maybe some of these cups you don't actually need. Maybe some of these cups you just need to make peace with, and it'll make more sense as to why you keep trying to do this. But almost like just stop, take a minute, reflect, and get into the cups, get into the water. Tell me about the Eight of Cups. Like all of this is just clarifying the crocodile and the cheetah. Tell me about the Eight of Cups for my fire signs. Ooh, Page of Swords. Didn't expect that. Don't love seeing that, not gonna lie. Page of Swords, it's not a bad card. It's not. It's like, it's research, it's new ideas, it's observing, it's trying to look into things. It can be the card of spying and analytics and all that. Could also be a little bit of a defensive card as well. And I do feel a little defensiveness. I do. So what's going on in your waters, fire signs, is the Page of Swords, which is kind of interesting because it's swords. And you're going into your water, into your emotions, into the subconscious even for a lot of you. And what's there are certain thoughts and beliefs, actually. I want to say they're beliefs. And there's an irritation, there's an anger there. I feel, yeah, I do. I feel a little bit of like a defensive, irritated child. I do. There's a little immaturity going on here. No judgment. No judgment. It's not a judgmental thing. We've all been here. Tell me about the Page of Swords. Why is the Page of Swords here? Yeah. Wow. So what's lurking in your waters, fire signs? Look at this. Look at that. Page of Swords, Three of Wands, and the King of Swords. Some of you, there's definitely something to explore between a King of Swords and Page of Swords relationship. All that means is someone who there's a big age gap, or someone where there's a big life experience gap. Could even be a mentor-mentee situation. This could absolutely be like a teacher or like a mentor with a student kind of relationship as well. Could even be parent-child, that sort of deal. There's a strong authority power dynamic theme that I'm feeling here with this that is in your deep waters to explore, okay? And it feels very orientated around masculine energy or men or masculine figures or authority figures. The Three of Wands, though, the Three of Wands. Oh, fire sign. Something else that I'm getting here is that what the other thing that's going on in your waters is a desire to be more. That's also what I'm getting here for some of you. A desire to be more. a desire to be the King of Swords. And it's interesting because you're acting as a knight, right? But on an emotional level, I almost want to say even emotional intelligence, there's a page energy here. And there's this awareness, this deeper desire of, I do want to be the king. I want to be seen as the king. Even with the Three of Wands is kind of emphasizing that. I want to be treated as the king. It also has this feeling too of like, if you take action and you just go and do, it's almost like you're trying to like, it's almost like you're putting the cart before the horse a little bit. Like, if I just put all the energy into this, I just will be the king. But that's not necessarily true. The king comes with lessons. The king comes with growth. The king comes with overcoming challenges. The king comes with learning about the self and learning about the world and other people. It has this feeling of like the reason that like there's so much, I'm just going to do, 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 is because you're doing to be seen as a king, or to even just like get there in theory of what the king would look like or what the king's life would embody. But it's not actually, you're not actually allowing yourself to go through the maturation of the process, to go from a page to a knight to a queen to a king that we all go through. And for some of you, part of that is exploring some old feelings and thoughts about a certain relationship dynamic around power and authority and issues like that. Okay. And detachment. I'm getting like very cold energy with that too. Like very cold energy. I want to look at the stingray and tarantula. I feel like everything we've talked about so far has been for the crocodile and the cheetah. So let's look at this. Yeah, this like everything I talked about so far feels like that striving for achievement in the ways we've been talking about today. Tell me about stingray and tarantula. Okay. Seven of Pentacles. I like it. This looks good. This is taking stock of things. This is evaluating. This is looking at what you got going on. This is considering what to do with your time, your energy, your money. It's definitely taken a little bit of a pause, which I kind of was feeling for you, was coming up here after you find your balance. Tell me more about the Seven of Pentacles for fire. And there's Temperance. There's that achieving the balance between the fire and the water. Yeah, this little pause time, some of you it's hermit time, doesn't have to be, but this little pause from the Knight of Wands energy, just like take, just get your foot off the gas pedal for a hot minute and just taking a little bit to yourself is working wonders for you, fire signs. Wonders. It's helping things make sense. It's helping you find a place of balance. Also feeling a little bit less restless. Less restless? That seems redundant. Not as antsy. Not as antsy. Can I get a card for Temperance? Yeah, beautiful. Three of Pentacles. Interesting. If there is a relationship involved in this, it feels a little bit like not let's start over, but let's backpedal. There's a lot of like backpedaling going on here for you fire signs. And even if it's not about a relationship, there's a little bit of like, let me go back to basics. Let me go back to some original plans. Let me stop pushing. Let me stop pushing and just kind of like, almost like go back to like when things were a little bit more simple and even like the bare bones of whatever this vow energy is for you. Whatever you've been wanting to put your time and energy and money into, you've just been pushing and pushing and pushing without taking stock of why. And this is you getting very clear about the why, but it comes with space, it comes with time, it comes with actual rest, okay? Non-action, if you will, and then you can come back to the three. So I know this looks like a big regression. It's not a regression. It's not. It feels more like correction. Yeah, feels more like correction. And also the Three of Pentacles relates to foundations. And so it's also going to help to solidify whatever foundations are built in the name of that vow. Okay. How long have you been live? Almost 2 hours in true Island Turtle fashion. All right, let's move on to another element. Where did I? Oh, it's right there. Jeez. Okay. All right. Keep losing all my decks. There they are. Okay. We are going to do, let's see, earth, air, or water. Oh, I do gotta keep track of time though. Hold on. Oh, shit. How does time go by so fast, you guys? How does that happen? Dang. All right. Okay, I gotta go faster. Earth, air, or water. Let's do earth. Okay. Capricorn. How did you end up over there? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. I'm gonna start with High Priestess of Light. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. For this week. Earth signs, you might have a lot of people coming to you this week. I just had that feeling of like, almost like you're stationary and people are coming to you, hitting you up, or energies just coming your way. It feels like you're, even if you're not stationary, even if you're like you're busy doing things, you're not like all over the place. You're relatively contained, I want to say. You're relatively contained within a radius of a certain mileage, if you will. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Some of you feel like you're like a beacon. They were just showing me like a giant, like bright light. Some of you feel like you're a beacon. Shamanic journey. Oh, well. Purpose, attunement, and vision quest. No wonder you're contained. Not what I would have expected for you to come out for you. This is like soul journeying. Some of you could decide you need to like you need to do a drum journey, or, you know, sit in like a plant medicine ceremony or something like that. But this is about exploring the crevices of the subconscious. And it's a very solo experience. It's a very internal experience. But this is absolutely why you are kind of contained in a certain radius, or even a bubble, if you will. Okay, on the bottom we have building your world, which is cultivating, bringing certain dreams into realities. But to do that, you got to go deep down and actually get the insight first. Okay, let's get some archetype cards here. Not what I expected either. I know, I was like, oh, okay, interesting. But this might also, oh, energy coming to you. Energy coming to you. Some of you, this is absolutely a soul retrieval. Some of you are reclaiming, calling back your energy that other people have been, well, taking. There's no soft way to say that. That's why I was like, why do I feel like so much energy is like coming at you? It's because you're reclaiming it. You're reclaiming it, and or soul retrieval. And so as a result, keep in mind when people do this kind of stuff, people in their life feel it, especially if they are connected to them like that energetically. And so people might hit you up a lot after you go through this, or even while you're going through this. All right, archetype cards. For my earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Oh, yeah. Oh, earth signs. Yeah, you're contained. The ocean. The ocean to me is like the depths of the void and the cosmic womb and the deep, dark waters of the subconscious. It's like, it's very much aligned with what I was already telling you about the shamanic journey. Yeah, it feels like recovery of energy, recovery of you, recovery is what it feels like, and reclaiming for sure. Some of you may have also been working through, well, some of the energy I was talking about the collective, right, in the collective portion, about like people who've been like being violated and things like that. So you guys are working through that. Not wanting people to like abuse you or use you, because earth signs, you guys hold shit down. You just do. It's part of your gift. You're literally earth. You hold shit down. You tend to be very grounded. You tend to be very responsible. You tend to be very strong, if you will. And people love that about you. People like to use you because of that, right? So some of you guys, I think, are working on some of that. Can I get another card for my earth signs? Oh, we got the ring. Okay, earth signs. You're devoted to you. I love this for you. I love this for you. You're devoted to you. You're devoted to you, your energy, your time, your soul, your like you're devoted to you. It's like, this is you time. This is you time, Earth signs. And if you're a Cappy, your birthday's coming up around the corner. Some of you could, be a Cappy and you're just feeling it for your solar return too, of like, it's about me now, right? Doesn't have to be, but obviously that stands to be the case for some of you. But yeah, you're just devoted to you. You're devoted to your needs. You're devoted to taking care of yourself. That's what I'm seeing here. Yeah, unconditional love at the bottom. Oh, yeah, recovery. Wow. The desert and the vessel. I keep getting earth signs. This is about how you have felt very used. Okay. The vessel usually indicates a vessel, a container, the body, for example. And I keep feeling like you're contained somehow. You're contained somehow. You're contained somehow with the desert. The desert is a very, it can be a struggling kind of an experience. It could feel like you are depleted and restricted. The desert also speaks of like being in a place of discomfort in that way I described, but like being able to see truths you couldn't see otherwise, uncover certain things you couldn't uncover otherwise because you're so uncomfortable, you have like kind of no choice but to discover certain things. And yeah, I just feel like a lot of you are just discovering how you have been taken advantage of. And I feel like this is you just really prioritizing you and doing what you got to do. Okay. Some of you, this is about your physical health as well. Let's go ahead and pull from the animals. I was like, where'd you go? Let me check the time. I'm so paranoid now about the time. Oh wait, if I have an hour. Okay. I think I'll keep that in mind. Okay. Earth signs. Any messages or insights from my earth signs? Any messages or insights from my earth signs? Well, that was fast. Whoa. I'm feeling your frustration. We have Owl with the frog, which is emotional cleansing and releasing. Owl is like a high priestess, psychic energy. It's usually divine feminine wisdom. With the peacock and the black egg. Yeah. Earth signs, you're processing a lot. And I feel like a big theme here with peacock and black egg is also about things that have not been expressed or said. I want to say even like moments where you wanted to say no. Stop. Like these are words that are coming through. No. Stop. Let me go. Interesting. I don't know what that's about. Let me go. Things like that. Yeah, the peacock and the black egg, it feels like suppressing things you want to say, putting a pretty mask over it. Like playing cool. But this is you getting very real with yourself about it and seeing these situations for what they are. I feel like this also goes hand in hand with what I was saying in the collective message too, about like we're so programmed to even respond to certain situations and people a certain way, even if it goes against our nature. And I feel like that's what I'm looking at for my earth signs. I'm not gonna lie, some of you there is like some sexual trauma involved in this, and so just just trigger warning with that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think anything else needs to be said. I think, I think it's very clear. It's like I can feel frustration, but I also obviously feel all that other stuff too. Yeah. Anyway, let's pull cards. Any messages or insights from my earth signs? Any messages or insights from my earth signs? No is a big one. No just keeps getting repeated over and over. No. You might actually just start like saying no a lot as a result of this. Just like walk around the house. No. I feel like a lot of you are going to really start loving the word no. Any other messages or insights? Ooh, look at you. Empress and Magician. Yeah, working wonders for you. Wonders. My God. Talk about reclaiming some freaking energy. You're doing this as the Magician. The Magician is driving this shamanic journeying that I keep referencing for you. Okay? Where you are reclaiming your freaking energy for you as the Empress. The vessel is really coming up here. Hold on a second. Just want to hold it so you guys can see it. I'm getting the word gold. Even though the yellow is jumping out at me, but gold, they're saying something about gold, 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 gold frequency, gold energy, gold aura, gold light. Golden light is very healing. Okay, it's very high vibrational. Some guys may be utilizing this in visualizations, in breath work. I'm getting some breath work involved in that. But yeah, as the Magician, you're like, hell to the no, I'm taking all of my shit back. As the Empress, I'm taking all of it back because the Empress pulls in, right? Empress doesn't go out and do shit like the masculine. Empress pulls in. And that's how you're doing it. That's how you're doing it. Okay. I think people who, like, especially for those where people have been taking from you financially or siphoning, like, your actual energy, for my empaths who are watching especially, these people are not going to know what hit them. I got to be honest with you. Because when you take energy like this back, you're literally reclaiming your abundance, okay? You're reclaiming your fertility. You're reclaiming your healing energy. It's delicious. And that kind of energy, this is like massive manifestation energy. So if you're reclaiming this back from people in whatever way you're doing it, feels very energetic to me. I feel like this is probably for my mystics. Some of you it's financial though. Some of you guys are like getting money back and things like that. Venus and all. Suddenly people who have been like in your energy or taking that energy are not going to have it. It's almost like having fertile soil and then like someone pours salt all over their lawn. You know, it's like it's got that kind of vibe. Anything else to my earth signs? Ooh, baby. Anything else to my earth signs? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Not what I expected. A lot of what you're reading is just not what I would have expected, but it all makes sense. We have Knight of Cups, which is Pisces. When it's the right time, there seems to be a timing factor with this week too. When it's the right time, you can, once you're fully restored, once you're fully restored, I feel like the cup is almost like filled with liquid gold. Like metaphorically, like all this gold energy I keep getting with you. When it's the right time, you can use this energy like very much in your physical reality, but it feels like you do need to be like contained while you're recovering and you're restoring yourself and you're doing this kind of deeper work in this reclamation, right? And then you can go out. Knight of Cups is leading from the heart. It usually is like love offers and things like that, but I feel like it's your own energy. I feel like it's your own energy that you're going to utilize and do something with. All feels very, very fertile. Anything else for my earth signs? Yeah, Four of Swords is coming out here. It landed on the Magician, which I already kind of knew. Excuse me. Four of Swords is like recovery, literally. It's taking time and space to sleep, to rest, to spa day, to reflect, to heal. It's all the things I was already getting for you. So just confirmation there. But can I get a cut card? Oh, Devil in the bottom. Curious. Ooh. Whoa. Okay, what I'm about to say I know sounds really drastic. You would already know this. This wouldn't be a shock. Some of you actually need to get out of your house or have needed to get out of your house. I'm getting like double with the Four of Wands. Almost like you've been depleted in your own home, maybe by people you live with, or maybe even like having to take care of people financially that you live with. Anyway, can I get a card for the Knight of Cups for my earth signs? Yeah. Moving forward after this, you're only going to allow people to have access to your energy with high levels of judgment and discernment. Like the King of Swords almost feels like a guard to me, like literally like a bodyguard in some way, shape, or form, but it's your energy. It's all you. You're acting as the gatekeeper to your energy in a way that is next level. Because this, I mean, this is the kind of energy that makes miracles happen. Literally. Okay? And I mean that. I'm not being dramatic. Like, it's just true. And so you're gatekeeping. You're gatekeeping yourself hardcore, as you should. Yeah, that Devil in the Four of Wands is still there. Yeah, I would definitely, like, think about the people who are in your immediate environment. This whole notion of radius keeps coming up, too. For my mystics, make sure that you are cleaning your field, cleansing your field. I don't know why I said cleaning like that. Cleansing your field, cleaning your home regularly, too. I'm just taking a peek at some other cards. Yeah. Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're going to have people come your way, and I think you're going to block them like crazy. Because you're going to know. You'll know. You'll know who to say no to, who to say yes to. You'll know. All right, let's move on. Okay. Air or water? Air or water? Air. I guess water's going last today. All right. Okay. Air sides. Got nasally again. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius for this week. What's going on for my air signs this week? I want to say this is not for the collective of air. Maybe it's just for Aquarius. Maybe it's for Gemini. Oh, now I don't know. I think it's either Gemini or Aquarius. There's like a comedic energy. I don't know if you're going to see a stand-up comic or you're a comedian. Like playful, clown-like, quirky. I don't know. It's kind of, it's like, it's intriguing and it's kind of making me go, huh, okay. Like, oh, excuse me. Those are some vibes. All right, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Just a heads up, guys. I think I'm gonna have a coughing fit in this, in the air reading. I'm just feeling my body doing things. So if that happens, I'm just gonna excuse myself and deal with that. Okay, but I'm just preemptively warning you. Yeah. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Maybe somebody plays a lot, goofs off a lot, to like lighten situations or lighten moods. I'm not gonna say avoid the hard stuff. I don't really feel that, but like maybe like just a natural comedian. Adjustment. Looking back and moving forward. Okay. So air signs, there's a transition happening here, clearly. This one always gives me like Seven of Swords vibes because it's all about go into the future. Go ahead, keep going, keep going. Why do you keep looking back? Don't worry about what's behind you. Don't worry about what's behind you. Just look forward, just look forward. And sometimes this energy, this card can speak to like getting tripped up as you're trying to like progress, very much like the Seven of Swords. So maybe there is something about this like humor that is like maladaptive, like a maladaptive coping mechanism or something. Because the fact it came up like that, right? And even with this, it's like trying to move forward, but not like tripping oneself up unnecessarily or not making progress because of a habit or a tendency or a pattern or just purely something from the past. But it's like that comedic energy is very strong. We have deep emotions on the bottom. Yeah, so air signs, similar to fire, it may be time to get into your water. Okay, but let's go ahead and get some cards for you. If we get the comic card, I'm just saying. For my air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Oh, Gemini, Libra. Oh, we have the Mirror. Reflections, projections, and truth and illusions. Reflections, projections, illusions, and truth can be experienced with the mirror. Oh, be careful, air signs. I'm kind of surprised. I feel like I've said this a lot today, but I'm kind of surprised this is here. And with the adjustment too, even like all of the gray, it's like there's no color, there's no like life here. It's like I feel like there's some superficial surface coping mechanism shit that's just like halting what needs to happen. It's just getting in the way. It's just getting in the way. Yeah, it's just getting in the way. We're going to pull more cards to see what the mirror is also alluding to as far as projections, illusions, and all those things. But again, truth is in there if you see it, if you want to see it. If you want to see it, the mirror can show you truth if you want to see it, right? Keyword being if you want to. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of surface going on unnecessarily. For air signs. Tell me more for air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Oh, look. The mask. Yeah, air signs. Whether this is you or someone you're dealing with, this definitely feels like the mask of color. It's like to keep things light, to keep things surface, or it's like to avoid. I borderline want to say trickster, but I don't think it's trickster energy. I literally feel like putting on, like, let's put on the mask to keep, like, to not like acknowledge truth. Like let's just keep things light. Let's keep things light. You know, that's kind of what I'm getting. But interestingly enough, we get the queen. You know, the queen's been coming out. This also was an energy that was part of the channeling that I did already on Patreon. I'm not going to post it on YouTube because I already talked about the importance of what was all behind that. But it started with the queen. And the queen led to like the siren energy and the maiden energy and all of that. It's feminine, but it can also be shadowy. I just feel like this is part of the collective vibes of a picture is being painted here in relation to the queen energy. And again, the queen is feminine. So it's how we receive, it's how we take care of ourselves, it's how we surrender to truth and all of that. Yeah. Let's get a fourth, please, for air signs. Oh, oh, air signs. That's an interesting one to have at the bottom. What the heck? What the heck? Oh, well, that doesn't feel good. Queen and Venom. Okay, I'm getting quite a few things. I can feel this cough trying to happen, but I want to say, before this takes over, the vision. The vision is interesting because the vision is literally vision. It's like, look at it. It's like, it's having insane like sight of like psychic sight and wisdom and higher mind and a bird's eye view and seeing the big picture. It's like, it's literally the opposite of like what is on the board here. I feel like this is what needs to be progressed, what the progression is here. I feel like this is literally like, should be here. We even have medallion here. It's like, yeah, just look forward, okay? Look forward, keep going. Don't buy into these illusions. Don't buy into these projections. I feel like this is like, some of you, there's a relationship here. Just look forward. Don't get tripped up by yourself. Don't get tripped up by yourself. This is really weird. I'm like, this is weird. This is weird. Because for some of you, I'm almost feeling like trickery of your own mind. Like your mind is playing tricks on you. Like your own fears, your own doubts, your own illusions are playing tricks on you, creating the venom with the queen energy. Some of you, it's like, it's almost praying, plaguing on your own fears of the future. And I want to say fears and insecurities around receiving as well. For some of you, that's getting into self-worth. Some of you, that's getting into like, oh, I do deserve this, or I am worthy of this, right? Things like that. And distorting that, distorting those beliefs and making you fearful, making you insecure. Some of you making you see something that's not even happening. I'm trying to think of an example. Some of you, it's bringing out your inner critic, your inner pessimist, if you will. Let's say like you're getting a new job. Okay, let's say you're getting a new job. You've already met your boss because you did the interview and you're like getting ready and you're like getting your clothes, you're like making food, whatever, right? You're getting ready for this new job. This could literally be your own fears creeping in, going like, oh, they didn't really want you. The person they really wanted like fell out. So you're just their backup. So like you got to prove yourself, or they don't really like you, or they're just waiting for you to mess up. Like, you know what I mean? Things like that. So some of you, that be, the kind of energy that's happening here. But for those where there's like another person involved, there could be some projections going on onto that person. Like, oh, that person doesn't really like me, or they're just like playing me, or they're just manipulating me. You know what I mean? It could literally be that. Some people could go the other way where people are gaslighting you and making you think you're crazy. It's that kind of stuff. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Because that playful energy, I was like, what happened? It's like, what happened? So yes, that playful energy for some people is a mask, but others, the playful energy is very real and like very much available, but you just have to believe it and not play into this. Okay? It's funny, my cough didn't start. I thought I was gonna cough. I do feel like there's definitely some needing to get into some truth and reality here, no matter which way you cut it. Because people could be getting in their shit and making you think you're crazy or projecting things onto you. And like, that's just needing to see the truth of what's going on. But I think a lot of people, it's like, this is your own doubts. These are your own fears. And you need to start getting the truth of what is actually happening. Okay. Wow. Animals. Okay. I almost want to get the fairy. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What's going on for my air signs? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay. Not hating that. Not for this reading. We have Eagle. Eagle is a mastery of fire and air. It's also akin to the World card in this deck. It's all about opening and closing massive, massive cycles and lessons. So air signs, I'm feeling like this is a lesson here. This is a lesson to stop it. Stop letting your own fears and illusions get the best of you. And also don't allow people to trick you. Don't allow people to project onto you. Okay? It's all around Seven of Swords. I wouldn't be surprised if a hyena comes out. That'd be like the epitome of like a playful comedic mask when there's like other shit going on under the surface, right? Yeah, it's time to just not have to deal with these kinds of situations anymore. And for some of you, it is like about you doing it to yourself. All right, so just stop. Just stop. There's no more. No more. The eagle as a medicine is also notorious for clear sight. It's exalted Scorpio energy, right? So it's like clear vision and sight and wisdom. Okay? Clear being the word here. Clear. Whew. For Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Ooh, yeah, this is major for my air signs this week. Vulture and Zebra. Also not what I would have expected, but okay. Vulture is death magic. It is transformation. Having both of these out is like having two major arcana out. It's like having the death card in the world. That is a major death of a pattern, of a long plaguing pattern, and for some of you, the death of an identity that was never real in the first place. It's major. It's not fucking around, okay? Because then we have Zebra. Zebra is the authentic self. Zebra is waving your freak flag around and being proud of it. I equate it to being the zebra in a room full of donkeys and being very comfortable and very happy about it is what I equate that to. Yeah. So air signs, again, no fucking around here, right? Something major is dying, at least the opportunity for something major, the opportunity for a major death to happen is here. And the death being a very strong sense of identity that was never true in the first place. That was a mask, okay? And for some of you, a pattern of letting your fears and insecurities sabotage certain situations where you probably weren't being yourself or couldn't be yourself, or also just not allowing people to gaslight the shit out of you so that you couldn't be yourself. Like those are the three that are kind of coming through. Okay, let's get some cards out here. Any messages or insights from my air signs? I gotta really watch the clock here. Okay. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What's going on here for my air signs? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm also hearing, like, stop looking at it. That's interesting. Especially if, like, excuse me, I'm getting, like, a Page of Swords energy. If, like, your fears or insecurities are, like, getting you to, like, hyperfixate on something, just stop, excuse me, stop looking at it. Stop looking at it. Interesting. And then we get the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is Libra. Queen of Swords is someone who takes in a lot of information and truth, and she knows how to discern using all levels of truth. She is my minor arcana to the major high priestess because she is air, she is water, she deals in all facets and experiences of all levels of truth, okay? Which is basically high priestess. Yeah, it's like, don't like, right? Page of Swords and Queen of Swords are like miles apart from each other. The Page of Swords will take their sword and take information and cut it open and dissect it and go even further and go even further. It's like dissecting an animal to the point where like there's nothing left, right? It's just pieces like on a it's not to be graphic, but like pieces on a tray, right? Don't do that. Do this. Go within, take a little bit of a step back and see from a bird's eye view the truth of what is really happening here. So you can cut through the bullshit. You can cut through the illusions that are coming from you or coming from someone else. And for some of you, it's definitely cutting away from a mask or an identity that was never really you in the first place. Okay? Death. Well, we knew that was coming out. We knew that was coming out. Doing this bird's eye view analytics, if you will, and cutting through the bullshit is exactly what is needed here for this change. The death card is also like a devouring energy too, where we devour through the death energy what needs to be devoured and done away with, and all that's left is the new energy or renewed energy or things we take with us into the future, right? Ooh. Anything else for my air signs for Gemini, Libra, Aquarius? Oh, I'm getting a headache all of a sudden. For Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. There it is. 5 of Pentacles. Scarcity mindset. Fears, doubts, insecurities, memories of abandonment and rejection, fears of abandonment and rejection, even sabotaging, right? Where like you put yourself out in the cold. That's all the things that I'm getting with this 5 of Pentacles. There's also a misfit energy here that's kind of been floating around the collective too. There is a misfit energy here. Some of you may identify as a misfit in whatever way you would identify yourself that way, or alternative, or whatever word you use for that. I'm not going to say that's not true, but I do want to say that probably there have been some actions taken or not taken that have also led to feeling even more like a misfit than has been necessary, right? Like self-sabotaging. But anyway, this is the root of all of that we are going to be done with now, right? Right? We're going to be done with that, air signs. We're going to be done with that Five of Pentacles experience and mindset and narrative about the self. I hope so. I hope so. Taking these now. Any other messages or insights from my air signs? Love it. Temperance. This is healing. This is healing. Temperance also speaks of like moderation and balancing things out and all of that, but you're healing. You're definitely healing. You're definitely healing. Some of you, if this is like you dealing with another person who like is going through this, there definitely is a call for patience, and absolutely be like gentle and patient with yourself through this process. But some of you, there is a patient factor because of that. Can I get a final card for my air signs? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Yeah. Yeah. Wheel of Fortune. So that things can change, so things can turn around, and you can have a different experience now. It doesn't have to be the Five of Pentacles. Love it. Air signs. The archetype cards had me nervous. I was like, what is going on? I mean, look at that. That is like, that is like, no, just no. We're not gonna do that. We're not doing that. Okay. Last but not least, water signs. Oh, water. Speaking of, I think I'm dehydrated or something. Hold on. Ooh, okay. Also, still dazily. Water signs. I can't believe how much time has passed. Like, how does that happen? There were things I was supposed to do today. Just happens, I guess. Water, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I was already getting ahead of myself with you. Oh, water signs. What's up? What's going on? What's going on? I hope you're not too bluesy. It's feeling that way a little bit. Oh, I have it. Thank you, Oddworld. I have it. I'm getting hot in my readings lately. Okay, water signs. Okay, there's a reason you guys had to go last. On one hand, I'm getting like a Five of Cups, kind of just bluesy, not like down and out super sad, just like bluesy, a little bluesy with you. But at the same time, I also feel like there's an intensity that's happening or about to happen, trying to happen, like almost actually kind of probably even opposite to fire, where like they really needed water, like you really need fire. Could be definitely something going on between some fire and water signs this week. Water signs. I'm already feeling kind of exhausted in your energy. I gotta be honest. Sorry, just call it a spade. I feel like you're bummed. I feel like you're disappointed. I feel like you're bluesy. I feel like you're a little sad. And all this like fire's trying to happen, and you're like, you don't want it. You need it though. I feel like you need it. Can I get a card for my water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Interesting. You have building your world. Someone else had a peek of this. I think it was Earth signs. Creation, expansion, networking. Some of you guys are closely tied to the bee. So you guys are 33, or that number could mean a lot to you, or you're seeing threes a lot. 33 is a master number of building and creation. But you see how she's like holding herself there? She's very much one and zen with the bees and nature and herself. This is also speaking to that alignment that we're talking about, the collective here. I feel like you're kind of sad, but it's like, I don't know why you're feeling sad, because with this card coming out, it's almost indicating that like you're in a space where it's time to put some things together, where almost like it's time to be in a little bit of fire. And to be honest, I feel like you're resisting it. Just speaking honestly, I feel like you're resisting it. I feel like you're resisting fire. I feel like you're resisting Mars, actually. Masculine energy, your own. And it's like making you sad for some reason. I don't know. This is fascinating. On the bottom, we have Circle of Eternal Joy, timelessness, and dance of life. Yeah, almost called you fire. Interesting. Yeah, you need some fire. Water signs. Good shit's happening. Okay. Good shit is happening. Good shit is happening. And I feel like you just want to be sad for some reason. Or it's like you don't want to like be in that, or you don't know how to be in that. Can I get a card for my water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Yeah, this is very much where you are. The shaman. You're just like, I don't want to do. That's where you are. Shaman sits in the in-between. Shaman doesn't, this kind of energy is not about the physical reality at all. And I feel like that's what's being asked of you, or that's like where the energy is heading, to like be more engaged in your physical reality, even be more physical yourself. Some of you, there's also this like maybe your body's wanting more movement. It's like there's a call to be in the physical reality. There's a call to utilize fire. There's a call to utilize your masculine energy, and you just don't want to. That's what I'm gathering. You're like, I'd rather stay here. I'd rather stay in the void. I'd rather stay in the non-physical space, please. I don't want to. I'd rather be here. Okay. Anything else for my water signs? Okay. 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 I almost want to negotiate with you. I don't know why. We have the Mountain coming out here, which is very much a collective energy. So here's the thing, water signs. You can be there. You can be there all you want, but try to utilize being in that space by going into a grounded sense of self. Not just like floating, okay? But actually like grounding some of your own self in through that avenue, through that channel, right? Because like when we go into ourselves or into our little inner world, we do go through the shaman energy. We do. But the Mountain is saying, yeah, you can do that. Just like ground it. Just ground yourself in it. Don't just float off. As water signs sometimes tend to do, especially Pisceans. I'm just saying, right? No floating. We're grounding. We're grounding. Even with the Mountain being here, it's also that call to get into the physical. Get into the earth element. Get into your physical reality. Get into your body. So like, yes, be there. Just do it in a little bit of a different way. Okay? It's almost like I feel like you need to ease yourself into it or something. Like you're trying to ease yourself into being physical, getting into masculine energy, getting into working with the earthly element. Like if you got to ease yourself, that's fine. But just, I encourage you to really embrace that. Am I taking these? No. Wow. Yeah, my head and my crown are going crazy. Can I get a third card for my water signs? This is like, I can't help but laugh because it's just reiterating what I've already told you. We have the underworld here. But you see, it's earthy. There's vegetation and there's bugs. And it's not just this like ever floaty place. Right? We gotta laugh. We gotta laugh. Candle just went out. We gotta laugh, water signs. I think you probably are not enjoying me talking about it this way, but we gotta laugh. So yes, it is underworld energy that you enjoy being in, but this is like still grounded. This is still connecting to earth and earthly elements in some way. Can I get a fourth card for my water signs, please? Ooh, Ooh, okay. We have the Lover. And it flew out way far away from these other cards. We have the Lover. If any of you are in a partnership, I think you're spending a lot of time away from them. Okay. And in your floatiness. Okay. Because it literally was like, it's over here and the cards are here. And it was like, it didn't want to be anywhere near this. All right. So if that's the case, that's the case. But Lover is also an experience of wholeness. It's also experience of elation and bliss and joy and divinity. And we don't always get to experience that like for the long term. But I do feel like it's also indicating that like if you do this, if you engage in the physical, in your fire, in your masculine energy, and in again the earthly plane and element, you can experience that within yourself. Uplifted, full of energy, elation, bliss, okay? Because this is an experience of wholeness, how we mentioned in the collective read. And for some of you, yeah, that could be shared with another person, but it's like, it's really about you, okay? All right, let's get some animals out. Not laughing with you. Any other messages or insights for my water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So I can feel, oh, I just got dizzy. I can feel a stubbornness in the cards right now, like a little bit of a stubborn energy. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Am I taking this really? No. Okay. I'm going to show it to you, but they said no. Zebra. Zebra came out. Zebra came out in the last reading. Yeah, that makes more sense. Lamb. This makes sense because I feel like you're feeling very, like very much like that. A little tender, to be honest. A little tender, maybe a little vulnerable, maybe a little sensitive. The lamb is like baby energy. It can be renewed energy, cleansed, pure, the beginnings of something, or being naive about something, or wet behind the ears about something, being green with something. I feel like it's really just your state of sensitivity right now, which I get. And maybe that's why you got to really take your time here. Okay. Yeah, you're feeling tender and sensitive and vulnerable. But you notice it is the earthy element. Just saying. Just saying, water signs. If I were you, I would also spend some time with like any earth signs just to like have some of the energy rub off on you a little bit if you know any like strong earthy people. Any other messages or insights from my water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Let's see here. Yeah, it's like you don't want to be exposed or something. Oh, cards are really interesting today. Excuse me. We have Firefly and Crow. This is the push. Oh, this is the push that you're feeling. This makes sense. No wonder you're like, it definitely feels like that. Firefly is literally like, it's inspired catalytic energy. It also is very muse-like. And it's actually really interesting because in the book, it describes it as such like a burst of energy that it's so intense and it's so fast that like you can't help but act on it, but also act on it because it's fleeting. So I also want to say this to you, water signs. When you feel this, you may not want to act. It may be in your best interest to take action the second you feel this and experience this. The crow is magician to me in alchemy, but the crow is also a divine messenger. All birds are divine messengers of some kind. I feel like this push, it could be from within you, but I do feel like it's just like, it honestly feels very divine. It just feels like it's coming in from spirit. It feels like a big fat download or an idea. For some of you, it is an internal bursting of some kind that is transformative. And it leaves you with like so much energy. And for some of you, a lot of ideas or some sort of light bulb moment and the energy to act on it. But you're like that. You're like that. I feel like, yes, the earth element would help you, But I also feel like actually spending time in the sun and like working on your solar plexus might help you even more. Even including like more like root vegetables and things like that in your diet, just to give you a sense of like density and groundedness. Because the lamb, I just keep feeling like very sensitive and almost like floaty. I know that sounds really weird, but like you don't have enough like weight or groundedness or mass to you to feel solid is how that feels, which is why you're feeling vulnerable and like sensitive. Um, and then this hits you and it's just like it's a lot. It's a lot. Um, Anything else for my water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Ooh, we got the owl. I got chills on the owl coming out here. So you guys could be working with owl. Owl could be coming up in synchronicities or dreams even. They reminded me of the bee again. Bee as well. Owl is psychic sight. It's also the recognition that something good is happening. That like literally that's a description of the book. That like this is also indication that something good is happening and you know it and you're witnessing it. Yeah, water signs, whatever this is, it's amazing. It just feels like you don't feel ready for it. Or you're even kind of like overwhelmed by it or even intimidated by it, but you know it's good. You know it's positive. Yeah, keep wanting to like breathe in your energy. Okay. I'm just saying. Page of Cups, the Two of Cups. For some of you, the lover was like, I mean, the lover flew out with like some force, which it doesn't have to be a partnership, but like when you're in that energy, it feels good to share that with people. Um, so if this is about some sort of relationship that's also just like blasting in your life, you could feel just very unprepared. Any other messages or insights from our water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Interesting. I don't think you're in this anymore. We have Queen of Pentacles. I think this is an energy that you're used to being in, but I don't feel like you're in it anymore. Or it's like by the time you get in the Lamb energy, you're no longer in the Queen of Pentacles. This is a weird reading. This feels like your baseline, is what I'm gathering. Where maybe you have a lot of responsibilities, maybe you're used to being responsible for other people. Because Queen of Pentacles, like she manages like the household and the kids and work and herself and very Capricorn centered. Yeah, I'm hearing anchor. Yeah, I feel like you're used to holding things down, is what I'm getting with you, water signs, or just being responsible for a lot. Okay. There's also strong mom energy here too. Some guys could be working through some of the feminine fractal archetypes that I keep mentioning, like siren, maiden, mother, crone, all of those. High priestess that wanted to be mentioned. Maybe some of you identify as a high priestess. Um, yeah. Yeah, I feel like water signs, you've been working through certain like fractals or archetypes of the feminine. The lamb is also the baby. The lamb is the baby. So yeah, I feel like all that work that you are doing or maybe have been doing is part of this transition to lamb, but also potentially the transition of this that's hitting you. Okay, very interesting. Anything else for my water signs? Well, there's the bluesy. Oh. We have Five of Cups with the Two of Cups and the Three of Pentacles. Did something not work out? Five of Cups and the Two of Cups. There's a Three of Cups there. But Three of Pentacles is about mending. And it's also about like collaborating with people and building with people. Oh. Okay. Water signs. Okay. So you didn't lose anything. Let me assuage your fears. I don't think you're going to lose any friends or anything like that. This is available to you. And you don't see it. The Two of Cups that's standing there. And remember the 2 and the 5 or a 3? You're looking at the 3 of Cups and it's making you sad. When there's a 2 of Cups there with the 3 of Pentacles, which this to me feels like a friendship, could even be like, you know, work or, you know, a potential like romance or maybe you're dating. 3 of Pentacles and the 2 of Cups is something like a foundation's just getting started or is available to you or a solid friendship. And look, you're literally not looking at it. You're literally looking at the Three of Cups that is not even in existence anymore. So some of you guys are really focused on the past energy. And like I said, some of you, it's because you're working through fractals of the feminine. Okay? Whether you're a man or a woman, doesn't matter. Some of you, this is purely family bullshit. And some of you, it's like you're going through your Rolodex of relationship past. This could also be why you're focusing on it, because maybe some of you are aware that there's a friendship or a potential romance or potential business relationship that's available to you, and it's making you think about your past experiences, and you're getting a little bit lost in that. This is also why it's time to, I don't want to say come to your senses, but yeah, it's time to come back to present. It's time to come back to present and what's available, because this is inspired. This is fast moving energy, transformative energy, something positive that's on the board for you. And I do feel like it's in relation to this. This is almost like the future. It's actually reminding me of, who do we do? Air? Where Air was like trying to go forward, but looking back. You're doing the same thing. For you, it's emotional though. For you, it's emotional. I want to say stop. Same thing I said to air signs. Stop it. I'm sorry. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh. All right. Anything else? The readings are so bizarre today with the cards that are coming out. All the messages make sense. It's just the cards keep throwing me. I do want to say we have the Nine of Swords peeking out. We have the Sun on the bottom. So now we have this. Chariot and the Five of Wands. This is overcoming conflict, overcoming competition, winning, if you will. I feel like it's your own conflict. Water signs, I hate to do this, but I feel like it's like you're hitting yourself. It's like I really hate to say this to you, but you're doing this to yourself. You just got to pull yourself out of the Five of Cups. Can I get more about the Five of Cups, the Two of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles for my water signs? Yeah, Four of Swords. So again, you may be taking space here, but Four of Swords is also where we gain truth. Truth of the Three of Swords. We literally reflect on the three swords of pain and heartbreak and grief and discomfort, things we don't like, so that we can recover the fourth sword of truth to make sense of all of that. So yeah, you're ruminating too much. This is also why Spirit is like, hey, we know you're floating around in your emotional void over there, but you need to come back to present. You need to come back to earth. You need to come back to what's happening right now and what's available right now. What's available right now is the Two of Cups and the Three of Pentacles. Let's look a little further at the Chariot and the Five of Wands. Tell me about the Chariot and the Five of Wands from your water signs. Nine of Swords keeps trying to come out. Tell me about Chariot and the Five of Wands. Can't even make this shut up, water signs. Seven of Swords. What did I say? Similar to Air, where they had that card of looking forward, but trying to move forward, but looking back, tripping themselves up. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. If you do have any like weird competitive people around you, it's not even a problem. They can't touch you. If you have been worried about that, it's not even an issue. It's a non-issue, I want to say. And this is clarifying the owl. The owl would know that. The owl would see that, which you would be able to do if you grounded yourself out of the void and into your body, into the present, to just come back out of that emotional void space, okay? We also have the Devil on the bottom. Oh. Okay. What I just saw on the bottom, I'm going to show you guys because it's kind of funny, actually. So what I just saw on the bottom relates to this Two of Cups and Three of Pentacles, which makes me think you are absolutely aware of whatever that is. 100% you're aware of that. Because look at what's on the bottom. We have Devil and the Ace of Wands. First of all, highly sexual. This is like, if you add these two together, it's literally the card of sex itself, okay? Very, very sexual energy. It also can be about just intense desire and passion and wanting and yearning. Nine of Cups is also emphasizing that, yearning and wishing and wanting. Okay, Four of Pentacles, closing oneself off as the King of Cups. which is you. And you know what's, Ace of Swords. What else is behind this? Interesting, with the King of Pentacles. So we have a King of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles on the board. So in all of your emotional void, you have a lot of truth and understanding here that you are kind of isolating yourself. And you do have some very strong yearnings here going on, water signs, for whatever this is. And it could, again, just be a work relationship, a friendship. It could be a romance. But you're getting into your feels about it because you can't stop thinking about your past experiences. But I think you're aware of all of this. And you can overcome your own conflict and your own self-sabotage here if you just pull yourself out of the void and get yourself grounded back into present and body and what is actually happening. Okay. Oh, wow. I kind of want to look at the Queen of Pentacles. I'm going to get one card for the Queen of Pentacles, and then we're going to go, because I actually have to go. I actually do have to go. Can I get a card for the Queen of Pentacles, please, for my water signs? Interesting. With the Nine of Pentacles. So, again, with the Two of Cups being here, there's absolutely some sort of relationship on the board. Some of you, it could be like one person is kind of like lost in all of this energy while the other person is just chilling like a cucumber, okay? But I do feel like there is like moving through some memories and like trauma and fractals around the feminine. Can I get... I was going to say one more, and look what Spirit gave me. We have the Lovers with the Hierophant, the Page of Wands, and the Four of Cups. A lot of fours, by the way. Four of Pentacles, Four of Swords, Four of Cups. So fours are pretty significant for you. I'm not going to say this is denial, because I do think you're aware of what you're feeling, which is why it's sending you into this like emotional void space, also emphasized by the Four of Cups. But part of your desires here with the Page of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Lover's card, okay? There's a level of devotion here with the Hierophant, but devotion coupled with the Page of Wands, which is excitement and passion and play. So, and making the decision, Lovers, making the decision about it. So, water signs, whether this is friend, coworker, lover, this seems really positive, and Spirit agrees. You just got to pull yourself out of the void, okay? All right, I'm going to go. I love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing week and an amazing night, and I hope you feel very supported by all the messages that came out today. I do have some crazy stuff going on the next couple days. I'm going to try to finish Cap and Pisces, which will go on Patreon first before it comes on YouTube, but Gemini and Leo will post this week for sure. Okay? All right, guys, I'm going to go. Love you. Take care. See ya.